C-Doc again.
Yes, sirree. Yes, indeed. Yiggity, yiggity, yiggity. Yes, yes, y'all. In the place to be. I don't know what the hell I'm saying, so I'm just saying a bunch of dumb shit. What's up, y'all? It's C-Doc again, and it's Tuesday night. We're a little early this evening, because we got some special guests. It's a big, epic show tonight. Yep, and you know how we do. But anyway, so I'm gonna bring the team. We got an interesting lineup tonight. There's all kinds of crazy stuff going on. It's gonna be crazy. So, ladies and gentlemen, my co-host Jennifer O. Jenny.
Hello,
What's happening?
Not a whole heck of a lot. This is crazy early.
Yes, it is. It is crazy early, and I'm not prepared, but it's gonna be fun anyway.
Right? Totally confused the dogs. The birds are like, we don't know what the hell's going on.
Yep, I know. I don't know what's going on either. I had to run out of Rocco's T-ball game, so it's like gotta go do the show. So, and then
Did
also
we
joining
at least
us.
get to see him play?
Oh yeah, I did.
Oh, good. Okay.
The last thing I heard when I was leaving was the coach yelling his name. Rocco, Rocco, which means he wasn't doing what he was supposed to be doing. So, whatever. Mara's up there parenting with her bad back. So, we'll see how that goes. Yeah. Also, joining us tonight, our next co-host, special edition co-host, the homie Flatline from Hip Hop Gods.
Oh, my God. Wow. Incredible.
What's up, buddy? How are you, sir?
What's going on? I'm well, sir. How are you?
I want to thank you first and foremost for splitting out on your job to be on the show.
It is what it is. We do what we do for the legends, and there's legends in the house tonight. So
that is right. That is true.
There are exceptions to be made.
Exactly. I agree.
Yep.
We also have another special edition co-host this evening. It will be the one, the only, the ODAD himself, Professor Daddy O. In the place to
be. C-Doc again.
You get to hear that every week when we start the show. So, what's up? What's up, homie? How are you, sir?
I'm good. I was wondering if I had to fill in for M-Rock.
Yeah, you're filling in for
if
M-Rock
I did,
tonight.
like I said, my shit would sound like this. You know what I mean? One of the hottest records I ever heard. Fujiano right here. Whatever.
There you go.
Dad
on the case.
Oh, yeah.
Call it Plan by Fujiano. That record hot, dude.
There you go. You got to school him, Dad. You're not the professor for anything. So
they be acting like hip hop dead, man.
Right. So
I'm still rapping too. You know what I mean? Donald
of course.
still rapping too. You know what I'm saying? Speech still rapping. But Fujiano rapping too. You know what I mean?
Damn straight, brother.
Me and Jennifer had a very interesting conversation about you, Flatline.
Oh, is that right?
So I was
Can't wait.
I really like that guy. And she was like, yeah, you want to marry him? I said, well, if I went that way, I probably would, but I don't go that way.
Flatline pulls a lot of, I'm not going to name any names, but, he is well loved by the old school hip hop god community. So
yeah. We'll leave it at that. Let's move
we'll
on.
Leave it at that.
I didn't even get a drink. I forgot to get a drink before I set up.
You got time. It's okay.
You got time?
You got time. Go ahead. Get a drink. So
all right, be right back.
Okay.
Oh,
he's gonna do that. That's good. But
look at how appropriate the pictures are behind.
I know,
him.
right? I was just gonna say because the our first guest tonight, we're not gonna waste any time since it's mad crazy late where he is.
Right.
But we're gonna bring him on, a legend, a hip hop legend that started back when the music started and got into the game early. He's done radio, he's done gangsta rap, he's done the b-boy stuff. He's one of the original b-boys, if you will, and that would be the homie Donald D. Welcome to the show, sir. How are you,
Yeah.
sir?
I'm good, man. How you guys doing?
We are doing well.
Salute,
Happy to make this happen.
Yo, you said I did gangster rap.
Well, you were in Rhyme Syndicate, so kinda, sorta.
Oh,
So was Divine Style a gangster rap?
Well, that's true. Yeah. Okay. You got me there. Bro.
I'm just joking. I had a few songs on the album. I guess you would say it was gangster.
I mean, you did do a song called "I'm Gonna Smoke Him." Yeah.
Oh, but there's a story behind that song. So I was basically following the lead of that guy that's behind Flatline there on the wall, and whatnot. But I mean, "I'm Gonna Smoke Him" was a song I did for the Trespass soundtrack.
Right.
So
right.
I kind of wrote that song around Ice Cube's character in that movie. So that's why. So that's why I was talking all of that shoot 'em up stuff. What's up, Daddy-O?
What's up, my brother Donald D?
The legendary, man. When last time I saw Daddy-O? Probably on the Public Enemy tour, man. Bring the noise.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep. Long time. And nice to meet Flatline. First time I ever really saw what Flatline looked like,
Well, it's great to meet you face to face. We've talked many times over the years, so yeah.
And then I like the name Jennifer O. Jenny, some De La Soul type of thing right there going on.
That's it. Jen is an OG in her own right, so.
Okay, so it's good to be on the show finally.
Yeah, man. Glad we can make it happen. And you are here because Spit Slam just released the new single by the B-Boys.
The B-Boys.
Yeah. And this is what trips me out. This is what bugs me out about the whole thing.
Right.
You guys have been making music since 84?
83 was the first.
83.
Yeah.
You guys have been making music since 83. And this year we're finally going to put out your debut album. That is awesome.
It's crazy. And you know what's funny? Because it should have been years ago, especially because Brother B came over to Italy and we recorded a bunch of stuff. But then I just got caught up with doing other projects, man, that it was like on the back burner. But even back in the 80s, we should have, man. That's a whole nother story with entertainment on why that didn't happen. But we can talk about it.
We should talk about it. Let's get into that.
And you know what's funny? Because so if you go back to 83, the connection, and because I remember Daddy-O, didn't you used to send tapes up to the Zulu Beat show?
Always. I was one of the biggest voices on the Zulu Beat show, because that's how I made my industry. I made my way into the industry by doing promos for DJs, and my joint for Islam was the hottest joint ever. I killed it on the Suck MC joint. He gave a shot. Like, it was crazy because I was just an unknown dude that just sent a tape up, but he gave me a shot. I ran around my neighborhood, I had a box. I ran around my neighborhood, like, I'm on the radio.
I remember, man, because I had to listen to a lot of the tapes that were sent there. So yours was one of the hottest, man. I remember Craig G used to send stuff up there.
So here you have it, C-Dot, first. My first A&R. Who's my first A&R, C-Dot?
Donald D.
Donald D.
Wow.
Yes, that is awesome. That is so dope.
But Daddy-O, we have some history. Even that song that you did with Freeze, where me and Bronx Out Bob did the video for that, you and Delight did the vocals.
Did the voices,
that was funny. That we had to lip sync. That was the first time I lip sync somebody else's lyrics. But it worked out.
Donald shared that video with me. I had no idea, and he sent it to me. He's like, "Oh yeah, I lip synced. We were lip syncing Daddy-O's joint." I'm like, "What are you talking about? What?"
Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah. That was the first time. That was the first time I was on vinyl.
Really?
Back to the scene of the. What's that, Donald? Like 80 what?
86, I want to say, right? 80.
It might have been earlier though.
Well, y'all might have recorded 80 earlier, but we did the video in 86.
Yeah, I was already in Stetsasonic by 86. And I think we had already released our first single. I did Back to the Scene of Crime way before I had a deal.
Wow. Wow.
Man. Yeah, I love me some Stetsasonic, man. Every song y'all did, man, I was like, wow.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Incredible group. And plus I got to see y'all on tour, man, with the band. Man, I was like, man, y'all guys were ahead of your time.
Yeah, we got more of that coming. We're working on a new show and all that. You know, we with the Spit Slam family, so you know.
Hey, that will make a great tour, man. Y'all, us, Chill Rob, and all the other artists that's on it. DJ Lord and some of the newer guys that's on there.
Yeah.
Let's go.
You heard that, right, Doc? You heard that.
I got my marching orders. Yep. Jenny, we got work to do. So.
Okay. I'll get right on it.
Yep, there you go.
So Donald, tell us about the early days, the B-Boys and meeting Brother B and Vintertainment and Chuck Chill Out and how this all started, how it all began.
Well, for me, it all started. For me, I was already rhyming back in the Park days. I was down with Africa Islam's group called the Funk Machine. But before that, I was in a group called the Asalam Brothers with me and Easy A.D., who later became a member of the Cold Crush Brothers. So from that group, then I joined Africa Islam's group. And then the scene shifted from the inner city into Manhattan, and then we were up in the Roxy's. So that's when I got the spark to want to make records. So one day I asked Phase 2, my brother Phase 2, because he had made a song called At the Roxy's. So I said, Phase, how did you do this? And he was like, yo, you have to talk to DST. So at that time, DST was, I guess he was the main producer for Celluloid Records. So basically, DST told me I had a 2-year wait to make a record. And I was like, are you serious? So I'm doing the Zulu Beat show with Islam, and then Vincent Davis from Vintertainment would hear me rhyming live on the radio. He came down to the station and asked me, did I want to make a record? So I basically thought he wanted to make a record with me and Africa Islam. But then he was like, yo, I have this DJ named Chuck Chill Out, and the group will be called the B-Boys. So I told Islam what he said, and Islam was like, yo, go make the record, man, and bring it back up to the station, and I'll play it. And then the rest was history.
Wow.
1983.
Wow. That's crazy.
And I had no clue about how to make a record because, you know, back then when we did rhymes, we rhymed forever. 80-bar raps, you know. So Vincent was like, yo, you have to make the song like in 8-bar raps. And I'm like, what is that? He was telling me like, well, he was like, listen to a song by the Temptations. See, they sing 8 bars in a verse and then 8-bar chorus. So then I got the idea, and then we created Rock the House.
Wow.
Yo, that's crazy. The first time I ever heard AD name outside of the Cold Crush, yo.
Yeah, you know, and it's funny because Easy AD just did an interview on Sway's podcast where he talks about our history. Me and AD started because we were at the Whole Avenue Boys Club in the Bronx, and basically we used to go to, you know, all the jams, Herc, Flash and them, Zulu. And so one day this guy at the Boys Club who used to have this big boom box playing, cutting up breakbeats, asked us, did we know how to rhyme? And we told him, yeah, which we really didn't. And we went up to his house, and I used to say Busy B rhymes, you know. I'll be on the mic saying Busy B rhymes because Busy was one of the first MCs I saw that really said rhymes in rhythm, because before that, I think I saw Coke LaRock and Herc and them, and they didn't do not much on the mic.
Right.
So there I had it. So once somebody called me out that I was biting Busy B, I went home and wrote my first rhyme, which that rhyme wound up being on my Let the Horns Blow album.
Wow.
Really?
Oh, damn.
Yeah, on the song called The Way It Used to Be. I have the rhyme where I go, you dip, dies, recreate. There's not an MC that I imitate. I got my own style, my own rhyme to show that I can rock your mind. I'm not telling a tale or fantasy. I'm just Donald D from the top of the key. When I shoot the ball through the net, I put your money on the table and place your bet. If you win, if you lose or you win, don't forget you can do it in. Can't party people get in the groove as I rock to the beat. I do it smooth because the microphone to rock. The money I got from the bottom of the sea to the World Trade top. I'm a rhyme designer, the women finder, the virgin breaker, the money maker.
That's crazy.
That was the first rhyme I ever wrote. So
wow, yeah. That is so dope, man.
That's dope.
Yeah, so Vincent came up to the station and took me in the studio, man, and I had no clue about making records, man. So
wow.
And that's when it started.
Yeah, so the B-Boys evolved because it started with me and Chuck Chillout. So, you know, the 2-3 break, Cutting Herbie, and Rock the House.
Mm-hmm.
And then Vince wanted to do like some remixes. So he had this vision. He's like, all right, now I'm going to turn it into like Run DMC, 2 MCs. So he asked me to have any friends that rhyme. So I told him about this guy named Original Mark. I had did some stuff with him. He was like, lived in my neighborhood in Lambert Projects. And we were in a group together called the Fabulous Five. And we did another version of Rock the House where we were going back and forth. And then we did a rap for Cutting Herbie where we ended the rap where we did the rap. Now we are through. DJ Chuck Chill Out. What you gonna do? Which is that on this new song that we did.
The new song, yeah.
That's why I called it What You Gonna Do. Right. So Vincent Davis basically was bumping heads with Mark and they couldn't get along. So Mark was out of the group. And then Vince was like, yo, do you have any other friends? So I told him about Brother B. Because me and Brother B wound up meeting each other at a Cold Crush party. And we just stayed in touch. You know, I saw him rhyming at the party and we just stayed in touch because we lived in the same neighborhood also. So that's how that started. And then Brother B came in and our first song we recorded was Stick Up Kid.
Right.
Right. So you're cutting all these singles.
Right.
Right. So why didn't the album happen?
Well, okay, so after Stick Up Kid, we was up in Vince's office, and that's how girls came to Vincent had some females coming up to the crib, and one of their names was Millie. So I just started rhyming. I know a girl named Millie, acts real silly, lives in the Bronx, but she comes from Philly. So when Vince heard that, he was like, yo, that's dope, man. You need to write a whole song like that, talking about different girls. And that's how me and Brother B wound up writing Girls. And that's how that came to life. But we hated that record, man, because we hated it because we didn't like the beat.
Right.
We was like, yo, we're going to rap over a kick and a hi-hat. We wanted to rap over the chorus part of the beat because it was a full beat. But then Vince was like, your lyrics is ill. I want the people to concentrate on your lyrics. But it turned out, I guess it turned out to be a winner. The B-side won again. And then when we did Girls Part 2, we hated that because we was like, we doing the same beat? You know, so we was heated, man. So, you know, and then during that time, Chuck left the group. You know, he wound up just going to do his solo thing. So that's how Master T became a DJ in the group. And Master T was another DJ that was from our neighborhood in the projects called West Farm. And Master T was a DJ for LaVon, who wound up becoming a member of the second generation of Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five.
Right.
So LaVon and Broadway and those guys. So
yeah, I remember when Flash and them went over to Elektra.
Right. So LaVon,
that's what time it is. You know what time it is.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
So basically, why we didn't do the album, Joeski Love happened.
Wow.
That happened, and he kind of forgot about it because if you remember, Dougie Fresh was on the label too.
Yeah.
Right. And then you had Red Alert there.
So Donald.
Yeah.
He had y'all. He had Dougie. I don't know how he got them good records, but he got some good. Entertainment had heat, bro.
Yep. Then I know Tito was supposed to do a record on there, but then that never happened. So basically, during Joe Ski's song took off, and because he was saying we were gonna go in the studio, so basically he wanted us to record an album, but not do it with a contract. So we was like, yo, we want to see the paperwork because we had not really made any money off the girls stuff, man. We weren't getting no royalties and anything in that song, especially the publishing, because no one was schooling us about the business then. So everything was under Entertainment Publishing. Vincent was basically our manager, lawyer, the label owner. So we couldn't complain to nobody. And we didn't know the business, man, because if you look at that part of hip hop, everybody was getting robbed that was making records at that time. And so we just made whatever money we made on the shows. So
okay,
that's
gotcha.
So that's why we basically didn't do an album. But then it was crazy because Vince kind of was saying that we were still officially signed to the label. Basically, when it was time when everything.
Don, we lost you.
We lost you.
Oh man,
sound got
really weird.
Really weird.
Really weird.
How about now?
There you go.
Better.
Okay, so when Islam and them started doing stuff where I think it was Spring Records, the Zulu Kings, I was not on none of those records because Vince was talking about I was officially still signed to Entertainment. I was like, man, crazy situation.
Wow. Damn.
Yep. A lot of history, a lot of things happened, man.
Wow.
So that's why the B-Boys never had an album, man. Basically.
Well, I'm glad that we're going to be releasing the debut album from you guys 40 years later.
Yeah, you're right. Well, the good thing is we could still rhyme. I mean, I guess it's like R&B artists from back in the day who could still sing. They still out doing shows and everything.
Sure.
So why can't us?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the things I noticed as time goes by is that we all have audiences. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's people that mess with us that they so die hard that they won't even listen to nothing else. You know what I mean? Like, and that's a cool thing because I'm kind of like that about the records that I really love. Like I was driving today, listening to songs in the key of life, and I'm like, this is my stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a ride for that. You know what I mean? And it's a lot of people that we affected in that early time in hip hop, first 15 years of making records, that like that's all they really know, bro.
Yeah. And I always go look back, the song Girls, man, Girls 1 and 2 influenced a lot of people, especially, can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, look, yo, Daddy, y'all did the Sally joint. I was like, yo, that was like dope when y'all did that. And then, I know Brand Nubian had a song where they used a lot of people use our stuff. And then think about how many people sampled my voice, Rock the House, y'all.
Yeah.
So, and we didn't get one penny from it, man. So, but a lot of people ain't getting no money for their music being sampled. So, there was no rules back then.
Yeah, none, zero.
Chuck always called it gunslinging. Yeah, we're gunslingers. So
exactly.
Yep. It is what it is. So you finally got off Entertainment, right?
Right. I just kind of just said, man, you know what? I'm gonna do what I want to do. What he gonna do? Sue me?
Right. Okay. And so then you went and did the 12-inch for Rockin' Hard Records, right?
Right. But before that, I was in the studio just writing songs. So, I wound up meeting Bronx Style Bob through Africa Islam. And then we wind up going in the studio and we worked with the uncle of John Bon Jovi.
Wow.
And we had recorded a song for Nightmare on Elm Street, Dream Warriors. And me and Bob wrote it. And it was a dope song, man. But the movie people loved it, but they were like, we need a bigger name to do this song.
Okay.
So then in came the Fat Boys.
Right.
But we thought the Fat Boys were gonna do their own version of it. So when we saw the video, we was like, "Yo, they did me and Bob's song word from word, the way we recorded, the way we wrote it."
Wow.
And you know what's funny, because throughout the history of hip hop, I never met any of the Fat Boys, right?
Really?
Never met them. And because at that time, when they had records out, when we in '85, when we had Girls Out, but when we were doing shows, they put us with the other boys group, the Boogie Boys and the Bad Boys. We were doing shows with them, but never the Fat Boys was with us. So on Sunday, Kool Rock-Ski did an interview on my boy's Dynamax radio show on Sunday, and I told Dynamax, ask him about that song. And then Kool Rock-Ski, he actually said he never knew who wrote the lyrics of that song. He said all they knew was it was dope, and they just did it. But the funny thing is, me and Bob, we still got our publishing off that song. So that was actually the first song that I received publishing rights on, man.
That's dope.
So we still get paid off it, because the Nightmare on Elm Street still shows, and a lot of people have been licensing that one song. So.
Dope. That's real dope. That's the homies. They're younger than me, but they used to live around the corner from me, all three of them.
Yeah.
Buff, Mark, and Kool Rock. You know, R.I.P. Buff and Mark.
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly. So then '87 is when I met the guy Jeff Mill from Rockin' Hard Records. I just met him just being in Times Square, and he was like, "Yo, you want to make a record on my label?" And I was like, I wasn't doing anything else, so I was like, all right. So I went in the studio, and that's where he created that Outlaw beat, and the B-side was Dope Jam, and I wrote those joints, man.
Wow.
And the funny thing is, Red Alert was basically the only one that was really supporting that song. Red Alert kept it in his rotation on Kiss.
Right. Yeah, he did.
You know.
But it was just a one-off single.
Right, because after that, that's when I got the call from Ice-T and Islam about the idea about the Rhyme Syndicate thing.
Right. Gotcha.
Which is how that call. So basically, Islam had already moved to LA, but he still had his apartment in the Bronx. So I would basically be staying there and just watching it. And I had got the phone call from, they were basically calling back to New York to find out the situation with Scott LaRock. And I told him the situation. So during that conversation, Ice-T mentioned about the Rhyme Syndicate. So basically, he was trying to get a deal where we all can be on a compilation. Because, I mean, if you go back in history, Ice-T Rhyme Pay's album was supposed to have been the Zulu King album.
Wow.
It was supposed to have been Ice-T, me, Kaz, Melly Mel, Bronx Style Bob. But we still had ties with other labels. Mel with Sugar Hill, me with Entertainment, and Kaz with Tough City.
Yeah, Kaz was Tough City, correct.
Yeah.
So that album turned out to be Ice-T's solo album.
Wow.
And that's how Rhyme Pays came about.
Wow. Damn.
Crazy history.
Yep.
Right.
C-Doc again.
Yep. Exactly. So basically, with the Rhyme Syndicate, so when Ice got that money, so the success of his Rhyme Pays album got him the budget to do the Rhyme Syndicate Coming Through compilation. So he basically told me, he called me like, I got the money. I can send the money to you. You can go to a studio in New York, or you could come to LA. I was like, man, I'm going to Cali. So I went to LA, me, DJ Chili D, who Chili D is one of the original members of DITC. And because how I met Chili was he was an OJ driver, Africa Islam's OJ driver. So, and then Islam was living near Forest Projects, and that's that whole connection with that. So we go out to LA, and then I bring Kid Jazz, who was in a group called Domination, with Kid Scratch, who would later produce the song for Peter Guns and Tyreek, Deja Vu.
Oh yeah.
So that's the whole family, because at that time Peter Guns is a younger dude in the neighborhood, and then once I did Let the Horns Blow album. I put Peter Guns on a song called Three Poets on a Mission. He was going under the name of PDP. So that was actually his first time ever on wax.
Wow.
So yeah, so we go to California, and that's how I met basically the rest of the syndicate. Everlast, Henry G's, Evil Lee, Latin, Dub Steve. So you think of all the history of the Rhyme Syndicate.
Jennifer O'Jenny, what's going on?
Jen knows them all very well.
I want to know, were you at the Hollywood House with Kaz and Islam and Whip and?
What are you talking about, on Beechwood Drive?
Yes.
Of course. That was Islam's house right there, man. That was the hangout with giant lizards and giant snakes, man. Come on. Giant fish. So you were there?
Yes. Yes.
So where you live, in LA?
Yes.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Jenny used to work at K-Day.
No way.
Yep.
Yes.
So then K-Day was the one that broke my song FBI. Greg Mack was the first to play FBI, and it took on a life of its own after that. Greg Mack. Wow.
Yep.
I know it very well. Yes.
So then how then I don't know. I don't remember you then. Well, maybe I do.
You'd probably have to see an old picture.
Were you dating any of those Zulu Kings? Which one was it? Whip? Was it Whip? Look, you have to think at that time.
Not Whip.
No, you have to think. Whip is out in LA, Kaz is there, Special K. It was like the who's who of New York hip hop was in LA.
Wow, I didn't even know that.
Oh, you could not go to that house where Islam constantly tell me I'm lying, Donald. Constantly popping sunflower seeds.
Yep.
Constantly with a mouthful of sunflower seeds.
So you remember Gordy B also?
Yes.
Gordy, yeah. Troy.
Hey, real quick shout out to Half Pint from Son of Berserk featuring No Self Control.
Oh yeah, that's my sister.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta film my part for their documentary, man. I know I've been
Yo, man, you and me both. I'm slacking so bad.
I'm kind of.
I gotta do it.
Yo, the Son of Berserk was one of my favorite groups. I remember when they were on the Public Enemy tour. I was like, man, I love their music. I thought it was ahead of its time. That people didn't get it.
It is ahead of its time. It's. I think one of the So this is some of the stuff that me and Doc been talking about for years. Like, so it's like a spit slam dream come true to like do the B-boy stuff and all the stuff that we doing, because we really have. For years, a couple of years now, really longer than 2 years, we've really been talking about how classic hip hop has a place, man.
Yeah,
right.
It really does. Like it's not phony. Like this is not forced. This is not, you know what I mean? Like it's not made up. Like it really does have a place. You know what I mean? But what happens is, if you don't get somebody that really understands that, then what happens is that you end up not having a platform for the music, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And find out like later on, like these people really want to hear us. Like it's weird. Yeah. Like it's a weird situation, bro, man. When you talk to people, and Donald, I bet you get the same thing. Like you meet somebody, your fan, you be like, for real? And then they be telling you everything you did, and you be like, for real? Like they really like you. They like really into you. So we just proud of just being able to do some of that, man. You know what I mean? And then shout out to Flatline too, because Flatline play all our records, man. And
he definitely supports.
It makes a difference.
Flatline and I can attest. Hey, we can attest that we are those fans. That's how we started in this. We grew up on your guys' music. So you're gonna tell me that there's new Stetsasonic? Shit.
Yeah.
Even before he asked me to do beats for it, I was like, "Word, let's go." Okay.
right.
I'm like, I'm whatever. Yeah. Let's go.
That's a song. You know what's funny? Because the other day I was listening to an old cassette when the B-Boys, we were doing an interview on P. Fine's radio show.
I love P. Fine.
And I'm on the show introducing that one of that song, and I'm mentioning, yeah, that's my man Daddy-O, blah, blah, blah. We was up there. That was actually our first radio interview we did when we dropped Girls. And
wow.
P. Fonz was the first to show us that love, man. So, but what Daddy-O was saying, man, especially over here in Europe, man, they still love a lot of our music that we did in the past, man. Definitely.
I'm sure that's got to be the major market, you know?
Yeah. They still love the old school over here.
Yeah.
I said it in one of my rhymes, man. I said, you want followers. We got a following.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's just the industry puts a age cap on who can rap.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
But they don't do that to no other genre of music. Only hip hop.
Only hip hop.
It's so call us old school and blah, 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 blah. And you know what's funny? Because, C-Dot, that footage I sent you of us in concert, the B-Boys, was the first time we ever did a show in Europe as the trio with me, Chuck Chillout, and Brother B. Because in '86, kind of, Entertainment kind of was shady about not letting us know our music was in Europe.
Right.
Wow.
And they wanted us to take part in that '86 UK Fresh Fest over in London, but Vince always told them we were busy. I didn't find out our music was over in the European market till when I did the Rhyme Syndicate tour, and people were disappointed that I didn't perform none of the B-boy stuff. And I'm like, what do y'all know about B-boy stuff? Then they told me the history.
Wow.
How big our music was over in the European market.
Wow.
So
damn. That footage is great, by the way. It's really good stuff. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep. Great to see you guys.
I remember Donald. For me, Donald D, man, it was always the voice, man, because you and Delight and all y'all guys, y'all fit in that case with. I can't do that bass voice type of thing that y'all got doing, man.
Right.
My voice.
Stuff, you go back. My voice was not always this got like that. I guess as I got older, if you go back to the Zulu beat, I sounded a little thin.
Right. Nah, but you guys used to whip it out like it's a way, man. It's like it's a style. Like I look at you guys, especially like you, Donald, and a couple of cats. I look at y'all as the fathers of like Redman, Craig Mack, like all them stylistic guys.
Right.
Because y'all on some ride the rhythm type. You understand? Heavy D is y'all's son. Like y'all got a lot of sons out there. You know what I mean? Like, but it's that rhythmic kind of thing. You know what I mean? That y'all do, man. I love that stuff, man.
Thank you, man.
I'm different. I can't do it, but I think Delight does a little bit of that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like especially on the new album, Doc.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. He on the new album, he really doing that.
Yes.
Riding it. You know what I mean? But I'm different.
Y'all were one of my favorite groups, man. I mean, when y'all did Talking All That Jazz, I love that song. I was like, man, I wish I could have been on that joint. There was some certain song that y'all did that I was like. What was the other one? With Wise doing the beatbox. Is that with you, Faye?
The Faye joint.
Because see, I always like stories, so I started as a story MC. I remember I had a song called Loretta, but it never made any albums. So I always like to tell a story in my rap, and I got that from watching Keith Cowboy.
Right.
So, because I remember going to one of their jams, and he had this rhyme about a mouse, in the echo chamber, and that always stuck to me. So years later, when I did the song Ice-T, what you wanted, what was the song called? Party.
Yeah, what you want to do?
What you want to do?
I do a rhyme of talking about a mouse in my house, and that came from
right.
Oh, that's right.
Oh my God!
Right. And you know what's funny? Because when I recorded that I was saying it in the studio, and then I wasn't gonna put it on the song, but Ice-T was like, "Yo, put that. That's very comical. It's funny." And then that rap stood out a lot on that song. I see even on YouTube, people got just that clip of me saying that rhyme.
Right. Because everybody else is doing something else, and then you went like somewhere else with it. I always wondered about. Wow, that's amazing.
To break
amazing.
that,
I always wondered about
food,
that.
I guess. Yeah. Yeah, dude, I think I was the first rapper to shout out Donald Trump. If you go back to ISIS, my word is bond.
Yeah,
no, it's true.
I heard that today listening to it.
Yeah,
I said me and Donald Trump hung out at the White House, yo.
Mm-hmm.
that's bug.
my brother, prophetic.
Yeah,
but one song that y'all did, Daddy, I wish I was on was the Self-Destruction, man. I wish I was on that.
Oh no, we doing Self-Destruction Part 2 now, man. We working on it, man. So
Chris didn't call me for that, man.
Yeah, it was, Chris is elusive.
But
leave that right there.
In reality, I was originally on the West Coast joint, man. We all in the same gang, and Dre took me off the song, man.
What? Why?
Yo, I was in the studio. I recorded my verse. I actually rhymed. No, I actually rhymed right before Hammer came in. They shot the studio footage of us recording. We shot footage up in Universal Studio. And then Dre took me off saying I wasn't from Cali, man, that I was a New York MC.
Wow.
And that was back when everybody was arguing, and we didn't want anything to do with the East Coast guys, and we're West Coast. And
but my story was, where's Def Jeff from?
Right.
Right.
Where's Young MC from?
Right.
Mm-hmm. Right.
They are East Coast.
Young MC's from England.
Oh, is he? But I thought he grew up in New York.
He did. He did, but he was born in England.
But I think Dre I guess his thing was that they made their names in Cali and But I was like, man, I said a dope verse, man, but I never got a copy of it. So.
Damn it.
Some hip hop history.
Yeah, we should track that down. My man Mike Conception might be able to find that for me.
Lord.
We make a phone call or two. You heard me?
You know what, Daddy-O? Because Mike was the one that approached. I was with Ice, and he saw Ice and I, and he told us what Dre was doing for us to go to the studio and record our verses.
Yeah,
so that's
real.
How that happened.
Yeah, that's real. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, I produced a song on that Rhyme Syndicate album, the Bango song.
Yep, you're right, man. The B-Boy Outlaw.
Yeah.
Bango was dope, man. We met Bango at the New Music Seminar.
Bango was dope.
Battling Kaz and all that. And then Bango history goes back to he was down with him and Lord Jazz. And Bango was just he was just a wild cat, man.
Yo, I've been around probably in the history of my history in hip hop, I've probably been around 3 dudes like that, and he was one of them, man.
Wait a minute, not the New Music Seminar, Daddy.
Oh yeah, New York.
Yeah.
Oh Lord. Okay.
I remember Bango got kicked off the Public Enemy tour for beating up. He jumped off the stage and beat up somebody in the crowd, but then he came and he swung on
I took him to Brooklyn, man. That was one of the first dudes that I ever took to Brooklyn that wasn't from Brooklyn. That I'm like, I could leave you here. You okay? Like they not this dude. I'm like, yo, you's a real. He came in my studio. I'm like, yo, this is a real dude right here. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because the last time I saw Bango when he did the Snoop video, The Murder Was the Case. He was in that. And then I never saw Bango again, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
But he was a dope MC. He got arrested when he did the tour in Europe with Ice-T, the first tour with Ice-T and King T. He beat up some guy in Germany. They took him to jail.
Yeah.
Bango was a wild dude.
Wild dude, man.
But he put Cleveland on the map way before Bone Thugs.
Way before T Grizzly and any of them, man.
Yep,
you know
exactly.
And he was real, and he was as real as any of them dudes that come out now, because there's a couple of Cleveland dudes besides T Grizzly and them that's coming out. And yeah, they street dudes, but they ain't no Bango, man. They not. You not made of that, bro. You're not.
Exactly. So Daddy, so how did you get to produce that song on the Rhyme Syndicate?
You know how I got it through Islam.
Okay, but I didn't know that. I never knew that history.
Islam always, one thing about Islam and Daddy-O, wherever Islam could plug me, he would.
Okay.
So once he knew what I was able to do and was capable of doing, he's the one that introduced me to Ice-T.
Wow. Okay. So
you know what I mean? He's the one that introduced me to Ice-T, because one thing about Islam, if he good with you and he know that you good for it, he don't have a problem. He not one of them dudes that's like, oh, I ain't gonna tell my man about you because you gonna speed past me and all that. Like, he not one of them dudes.
Right.
You know
exactly.
So he introduced me, and then I was already, me and Prince Paul was already into our production thing. So I was like, yo, I could do this, you know what I mean? I could do this record. And the whole thing was, I grew up on that club record.
Right.
Bang, oh, bang, go, bang, go. I said, I gotta do this, man. I gotta do this. Because that was one of our favorite records, like pre-hip-hop. That was one of our favorite records we used to go to the clubs and dance to. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And that joint was crazy. I was like, yo, I'm killing this joint. I sampled that joint, and it was good. It was good. We had
Did you produce the joint you did you rhyming on with Freestyle Fellowship?
Yeah, I did 2 records on that album, and I helped them shape the whole.
But the Inner City Boundaries, you did that track?
I did a joint called Shammies on the album too.
Yeah, that Inner City Boundaries is one of my favorite joints.
Yeah,
man.
hard record. That's a hard record. Like, they had they had JD and them as a band, and it was dope because Freestyle Fellowship are musicians, man. I'm sorry. No disrespect to people that's just pure MCs. No disrespect.
Right.
But Freestyle Fellowship are musicians, bro. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you. Being in the studio with those guys is like it's like no other experience. I'm gonna tell you my closest experience. My closest experience is being in the studio with Third World. Wow. That's how it, right? But it's the same. It's the feeling. And so they had JD and them make the joint, but I had to produce it, organize it, put it together and stuff like that. And once I got it in my room, you know what I'm saying, it was doing. But I was around them the whole time that they made that album, man, and it was just it's amazing. I actually introduced Micah 9 to Africa Bambaataa as the best MC I ever met.
Wow. Yeah, he's dope.
Bam had a bunch of people around him. I said, yo, Bam, because Bam knew who I was. I said, yo, Bam, this is Micah 9. This is the best MC I know in the world. Wow. Because I don't know one person that could fuck with Micah on the planet. Not Black Thought. He already tossed Buster. We was there. There's no fucking guy. Fuck these guys, man. These guys cannot fuck with Micah. I tell people all the time, you got all these MCs, and then you got Project Blow. That's a whole nother thing they do over there, bro.
Yep.
Yeah.
You don't want to come close. Leave it alone. No, seriously, bro. Just leave it alone. Like, no, don't go close. Like me, one thing I'm gonna tell you, man. I learned this from watching Kaz. I learned this from watching Mel. I learned this from watching freaking Rodney C. I stay in my lane, bro.
Right.
Yeah. One thing about my heroes, all my heroes stayed in their lane. They never tried to move outside of their lane.
Yep.
That's one of the biggest problems that you see now, because if you move outside of your lane, then you lose everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You lose everything, and that's one thing I just and man, when I heard them dudes, and when I seen Freestyle Fellowship do that thing they do this thing that they do together. I'm like,
right.
And it's crazy because they do it to no beat. They got a whole nother rhythm in their head. Like, man, y'all go ahead with that, man. I produce the record, man. Hey, your daddy will be on the record. I'm like, yo, I can't really hang out with y'all. They said, yo, just do what you do on the record. I said, okay, I'll do it. You know what I mean? I wasn't really like impressed with myself. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I wasn't really impressed with it until the director had the idea for the video. And I said, this is dope.
Okay.
But out of that, how I look, by the time Jupiter come on, once we have
then you got peace up in there.
Yo, Peace is not. All of them is nice, man. All 4 of them is so nice, B.
I recorded a song with Peace because my cousin lives in LA named Phoenix Orion. He's originally from Brooklyn.
You know what's so crazy? Technically, Phoenix is supposed to be my cousin too.
Get out of here.
Word is bond.
Are you serious? Are we related?
Paul Phoenix and Axum is Daddy-O your cousin. He got a baby with Jessica, right?
Yeah, wow. This is crazy.
Yeah.
and you know what? You know what's crazy? So I didn't know Phoenix and them when I'm living in New York. So right. I wound up meeting Phoenix and them at the family reunion in North Carolina.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
So I'm there, and then they have a DJ playing, and I'm just standing there looking. They playing music, and I see these dudes staring at me, right? And I'm like, yo, I'm thinking they want to swing on me or something. Right. They were like, yo, you Donald D? I'm like, yeah. They was like, you a Lamont? I'm like, yeah. They were like, we cousin, and it was him and Super Nat was there.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm like, yo. I'm like, what? So long story short, when Phoenix moved to LA, he was doing his album, and he had like Neb Love from the 5 Footers. He had about like 9 MCs on this record called Secret Wars. The song is dope. See, I'll send it to you. It's on YouTube.
Okay.
And we all just was doing our rhymes on there. And Peace did a dope rhyme. I was like, man, these dudes, man. I always love the LA scene, especially not more of the gangster rap, but more of the hip hop side. Whether
they nice.
With Jurassic, with the Alcoholics, and Souls and all of these guys.
Souls and Mischief, yeah, all of them.
Or Far Side, all of them that could do the routines. Because I can't, that was one thing I missed when I became a solo MC, of being able to do routines on stage with a group and dances and all of that stuff.
You need to make this impossible. You need to work with us because that's what we do with the Impossibles record. So you need to be down with us, because me and Doc got a whole Impossibles record coming. It's all routines, bro.
Okay, that's what I want to do, and that's what some of the stuff on the B-Boys album we did. Like the What You Gonna Do, I kind of took a bit of Crash Crew, Cold Crush, and Fantastic as the chorus.
Right.
And then we have a song called We're the 2MC where we're doing some harmonizing on that. And so, we got, that's a lost art in hip hop these days, man.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think the only ones that was really still into it was Jurassic, basically.
Yeah, Jurassic was the only ones doing it, and it still wasn't punching like it could. Like nowadays, with some of the music that we are able to get our hands on as far as beats are concerned. Right. Some of those routines could be crazy, because you got to realize when Cold Crush, Fantastic, or Mastodon Committee, all them groups I love was doing those joints, they had to do them to their DJs cutting records that was already made.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now we could actually make records to fit the routines.
Right.
So a whole nother thing. I mean, look, I've been waiting on a call for Cass for a while. You know what I mean? I tell everybody, Donald, I'm down to work with everybody that's my peers and the guys that came before me, because I think I know a little bit about it, and I think we all have a place, man. I just, like when you think about the Cold Crush never, you talking about you guys, God bless you guys having an album now. Cold Crush never made it.
You're right.
They had that punk rock rap record. They had some other record, but that was it. They never got a chance to get into album mode. When you think about the fact that Kaz wrote friggin' Hank's rhyme, and the fact that was the first commercial, first commercial successful rap record has a rhyme from Casanova from Kaz.
Yeah.
The first, you know what's funny?
Every kid from the street, because I'm one of those kids, we didn't like Master G or Wonder.
We was all like, who is this dude?
We ain't like none of them. All we liked is Hank. The the ladies pimp, the women fight for a modern life. Come on, are you kidding me? That was us. We was like, yo, you can leave that chicken story you got and all of that, Master G. We'll rob you, Master G. We wasn't thinking about none of it, but Hank was it for us, and that was all Cavs.
Yep, you're right. Because at that time we were like, we never saw none of these dudes at none of the jams.
Right.
I think I saw Hank a few times, like doing security for Kaz and JDL.
Right.
But you know what's funny? Because Kaz was down with us at one time with the Funk Machine. Because at that time back then, Kaz was kind of like a gypsy. Him and Busy, they were traveling from group to group.
Wow.
And actually, there are tapes on YouTube where some of our jams with me and Kaz is rhyming on them tapes, man. Because when I look at it, I was intimidated by all of those dudes. Like, because you talking about, I'm going from being down with Easy AD where we weren't really known. And so Herc was the first that was going to put us on. He was going to let us open up for him at the Sparkle, but then the club burned down.
Right.
So we never did the party, and then we wound up breaking up. So when I got down with Islam, now I'm throwing in the fire, and I'm in Bronx River doing parties with Pow Wow and Biggs and Lisa Lee and them.
Wow.
All the Zulu MC love Kid Hutch. So I'm like nervous. Kid Vicious in our crew. And then, we're doing parties with Grand Mix of DST's group and Flash and them and, the funky, the Brother Disco. So I was like, wow. So I started just looking at how everybody was doing their thing. Because like back then, some of my favorite rhymers was, I loved how Master Rob did his thing.
Right. Yeah.
So I took it from Rob, Kaz, was basically the two, Pow Wow. And they were kind of like my teachers.
Pow Wow and Globe are hidden treasures, bro.
Yep, exactly.
People don't even notice how nice Pow Wow was. They don't, because nobody ever heard the tapes.
You're right.
The first Nate was ever introduced was Planet Rock.
Exactly.
So they don't know that. And then Globe did a little stint with Tommy Boy. But man, when you go back, tell them, Donald, you go back to them tapes. Them boys was throwing.
When they had that style called the MC Pop, and they were doing this offbeat rhythm, I was like, man, y'all were ahead of your time.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And then if you think of how Globe wrote Planet Rock, the style that he wrote the rhymes, or even on, Looking for the Perfect Beat, he wrote some dope stuff, man.
Yeah. Crazy stuff, man.
Wow. So Kaz, man. So Kaz supposed to be on this new B-Boys album, man. I've been waiting for his verse. So let's see if he.
So this is what we do. This is what me and C-Doc do. We plan a year ahead. When we needed to get Pasta News, I'm telling you, we got some dope features, bro. We got news. We go a year ahead.
Yep.
Wow.
Because these guys are so busy and so into their lives that it's not the same as it used to be. And even though they can email verses, it just it takes and it's got to be a soft correspondence. It can't be a hard correspondence, because if you feel like you're pushing them, then they're like, oh man, forget it. You know what I mean? So it's just, hey man, you ready? You got that? What's your deadline, OG? Oh, I don't have no deadline. I'm in my 4th month. I don't care.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I get it. By the 8th month, me and Doc still got four months to put this right.
Yep. Yeah. For me,
little game, man.
I try. I hit up a lot of people on. Because I don't have their direct contact, so I'll see if they hit me back on the DM on Instagram. I was like, okay, who can I get on this album? I said, okay, let me send a message to Nas. Let me send it to Rakim, Redman, Method Man, Buster. I'm still waiting.
Yeah.
The only one hit me back was my brother Cool Keith. Keith did a verse on the joint, but I told him, Keith, I said, yo, man, you got to keep it ultra magnetic, Keith, not the doctor.
I don't want Papa Large.
Yeah, I said, man, Keith, I said the whole album is clean, Keith. You done brought some X-rated stuff to the mix.
I remember Keith used to tell us, man, I ask Guinness. I got the biggest porn collection in the world. Ask Guinness, yo.
Yeah, Keith is a wild dude, man.
That's a wild dude, boy.
But you know, when people don't remember how Keith was in the culture before rapping, or he was dancing and all of that at the Roxy's, man, and popping and locking. Keith was around, man.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's a lot of us. That's why I'm such a champion for classic hip hop, man, because I feel like we still got a whole lot more to say. You know. Yeah. Then I like what we say now. Like, I don't know if I might like what we say now better than I like what we said before. Even though I understand what we said before because we were younger and we were saying, but now, I don't know, it has a different type of ring to it.
Different perspective.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So I like what we say now. I like where we going with it. You know what I mean? Like, even when I seen Kaz and Mo do. I don't know if Don seen that show that they do that Amos.
Yeah. Oh yeah, where they do it off Jay-Z's joint. Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah. It's crazy, B. You know? It's crazy. He's something about
they should record that and put that on.
They need to, man. They said, man, I mean, they went in, man. They went in.
Yeah.
And Kaz to me has, like I always say, I came up with a philosophy that has two schools of thought. But then I say Kaz embodies it all. You know, you got I say the Kumo D school of thought, which I put Buster, Redman, all them rhyme acrobats, Black Thought, all them triplets, Kendrick, all them, they can have that. E40, friggin' Twister. They all Modi, right? And then I say it's the Melly Mel school of thought, and I'm in there. It's just plain talkers. We plain talk, but our plain talk is crazy. Jay-Z's there, Biggie's there. I'm there. Donald's there. We plain talk, but Nas is there. We plain talk. We ain't doing no vocal acrobatics, but that shit we say, you be like, damn.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Kaz could do it all.
Yeah.
Kaz could do it all.
Yeah.
And that's crazy that he could actually do both sides. Like, how do you do that? Like, bro, I have tried my best to do some of that fat. I cannot. Man, listen, man. Y'all got that.
I can do it, but I never really had the passion to really want to record it.
Right. Yeah.
I might have done like some tongue twisting parts in certain songs and everything, but I never took it to Twister level of Buster.
Right. Yeah, they be gone. Them guys be gone, man. Mystical, even Luda. Them dudes is crazy.
Mystical was crazy. Ooh.
Yeah, Mystical nuts.
Yep.
A lot of history, a lot of MCs. Is it a billion MCs?
It might be.
Probably.
Yeah.
So what do we count? So what do we call this generation? We call them MCs or rappers? You know.
Well, there's both.
Yeah, I think there's both, and I also think that they are, in my opinion, I think they are kids. I tell people all the time, if they ain't my kids, then who is they? They're not Kenny G's kids. They're not Bob Marley's kids. They're not Kenny Chesney's kids. So they got to be my kids. So they probably my badass kids. That's what they are. And that's what this generation is. They just baby kids. Because you know why? You know why? And shout out to Thug. I hope he go through his thing. I hope he figured it out. But you know, everybody's a Young Thug fan. But Thugger could rap. If you go back to the first compilation that Khaled did, there's a record on there. Thug is actually rapping. None of the sing song stuff, none of that. He's rapping. But then he knows that other stuff that he does is going to garner popularity. So he does that. That's a badass kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, remember, a lot of people that come to me and they're like, oh, rap is not what it used to be. It's like, no, look, you're confusing a couple things because there still is a lot of real hip hop. There's a lot of dope rap music. You're confusing the pop songs.
It's true. Because I mean, you can't look, you got Apathy, you got Self-Titled, you got Immortal Technique, you got you don't even want to get me into my Vinnie Paz conversation.
Right.
You don't want to have you do not want to have the Vinnie Paz conversation with Daddy-O. No. You know what I'm saying? It's like they rapping like Czarface.
Right.
Yep.
rapping, man. Cats is rapping. It's just, but you're right, Doc. I think, especially, we get into, I don't want to get into a whole bunch of the politics, but if you get into the politics of the iHearts and the clear channels, there's a certain kind of thing that they're trying to do. There's a certain advertising dollar. The major labels have shrink, so they got to spend their money where it counts. So all of that makes a difference in terms of what, especially in America, what's on radio. The other thing that has affected hip hop, and me and Doc did a song called Gang Gang on. I got one perfect album so far, which is My Hood to You. I got one classic. That record is unfuckwittable. No, it's for real. I don't give a fuck.
It is.
So
I listened. I listened to it the other day and I was like, God damn it.
Is it on the market? It's on the market.
Yeah, it's out.
But anyway, we got a record on there called Gang Gang, and we talk about hip hop and the gangs. Yeah. And that is where the rubber meets the road for this generation. Yeah. Because if you just saw, there was I think it was today, because Trouble got killed in LA. And so there was a viral clip going around from Boozy talking about Trouble and how Trouble was his man. Everybody around him was Bloods. They all had on blood rags and all of that. Like, the gangs have infiltrated their music to such a high degree that it's very difficult for them to wiggle out of that.
Yeah.
Bodak, Cardi B's first single is called Bodak Yellow. Why? Because they don't say C's, because Bloods don't say, because it would have been Kodak Yellow.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? Like, it's the gangs are such an influence on it. And that's where the trap comes from. That's where the initially the trap, but then now moving into the drill, that's where all of that comes from. It's just like a lot of gang. And honestly, the real truth about it is that it's just got to run its course. It's not even really about trying to stop it, because
that course has been running a long time.
The bottom line right now is that it looks like, and this is sad, but this is so true. It looks like they're either gonna die or die in jail.
Yeah, you're right.
Because
like every day a new rapper getting shot.
But now you got cats, Moneybag and them gonna have to change their lyrics. Mm-hmm. They can't talk like YSL and them was talking a year ago.
Yep.
Right. Because now it's like, we can't do none of this. So what will happen is, the ones that are worth their salt, and there are few, will come back and make great. I just seen Rob Wave say, I'm gonna stop making sad records. I'm gonna start making happy records. I mean, they're gonna figure it out. And there's some talent. You know what I mean? Rob Wave is one of them. There's some talent out there. I think it's their connection with us. And I say this till I'm blue in the face. I think it's their connection with us that's gonna make the difference. Because without the elders, them little dudes is lost, man. And I put that on everything I love. If they are not going to be taught by us, they're going to lose their shit, B.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which is sad, man. It seems like every other day, one of these rappers are getting murdered, man.
It's sad. It's sad.
When it's supposed to be about the music. So
it always was supposed to be about the music, man.
Yep.
We were trying to be musicians. We were trying to get in this business. I just heard you say, Donald, how Vince told you listen to a Temptations record. Like, we were trying to be, and I still am, part of the traditional music that just came before us. I just rap. Temptations sing, I rap, but it's the same thing. You know what I mean? And that part got missing, especially right now with the gang. The gang thing is off the chain.
Yeah.
I'm in Jacksonville right now, right on a project. They taught me about the local Jacksonville rappers. There's a record out called Who I Smoke.
Oh yeah, that's what they did, the 1,000 Mile sample.
They are talking about the guys they killed in the record. Names come up.
Yeah, you're right. I watched the video. He talking about Bibby, were they on the golf course and everything?
Yeah, were they on the golf course? Exactly.
But you know what's crazy? The singer of that song, she gave them the okay to use it.
Wow, that's crazy.
Cause what's her name? I can't remember her name.
That's crazy. I'm telling you, man.
That was a big song for her.
Yeah, but crazy. Like that is, and it's, so it's broken down now to where a lot of it is not about like Blood, Crip, GD, Vice Lord. It's the neighborhood stuff.
Yeah.
So when you hear these in records that neighborhood, yeah.
Because one of the guys, so they mentioned the cat Bibby. So one of the other guys, Bibby's friend, made a reply to theirs where he's using the same beat and he's talking about who he's smoking and this and that. So that's one thing about these dudes now generation. They talk about what they did in real life. If you go back to the joint with Bobby Shmurda or whatever, his joint, they look at all of them wind up going to jail off a hot record. You in prison, man, which is crazy.
Yeah,
it's sad.
Bobby Shmurda will never be the same.
Nah.
Nope.
He's gonna be under that one-hit wonder.
Yeah, he'll never be the same. I see him trying, but But that's what I mean, though, Donald. Like I'm saying, like, imagine this. Appease me for a minute. I put you and Bobby Shmurda in the room. When you come out of that room, that boy has better ideas.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm trying to say? Because you're going to hit him upside the head. You're going to tell him about street shit. You're going to tell him he ain't the toughest in the world. You're going to tell him it's been murders and killers before you, bro. Stop the bullshit. You understand what I'm trying to say? And then you're going to start explaining to him how it is to be in the beat, how it is to be on the beat, how it is to ride the rhythm and where some of that music gotta, they don't even understand intros right now, Donald.
Nah.
None of their records have intros, my G. None of them. Like, what kind of record is that, B? You know I'm the king of the intro. I got Ghost Step. I win. you gotta have something.
Yeah, to start it off.
Yep.
But they don't know that because they don't know us. That's why they don't know it.
So do you think any of these artists today will be known as classic hip hop music down the line?
Nah, I think the last they had was probably 50. But it's been a long time since they could actually put out something that would be like, oh.
But how about Kendrick stuff then?
Maybe. I think he's headed toward that. I mean, I like what he's doing. Yeah, I mean, I'm sometimes known as the anti-Kendrick. I'm that J. Cole dude. But I think some of it. I mean, the only one making classics right now is Drake. That's it.
Yeah. Because years like a year from now, they don't play none of these guys' music. You don't hear it no more in rotation, not in a club.
That part is hard. It hurts me that they can't make music. Donald, you gotta appreciate this. Man, you walk in a club, bro, and you hear something that you made, and you know you made that thing 20 years ago, 30 years ago, and they go crazy. I look at these young kids and say, man, I pray that you get this experience, man.
Yeah.
Because it ain't nothing like being in a club and a joint come on, and that joint is your joint, and you hear everybody go, at the same time. It happens. And I don't know. I mean, they have that now because of the DJ culture. They got to give that credit to the DJs. They have to give their credit to the DJs. DJs make them hot.
Yep.
DJs are making them hot. But later on down the line, will that music have that feeling? It's like sometimes they just don't have the, and then there's all types of stupid ass arguments, recording analog versus recording digital. And did we make bigger records? And honestly, when I listened to some of our records we did make bigger records.
Right. With the sound and everything.
One record that sounds as big as Talking All That Jazz. Not one.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like they started getting into that thing and then they just didn't want to balance it. And then by the time it moved a little further south and a little more Pro Tools and you know what I mean? It's like some guys do make some stuff that feels like it has some heaviness to it, but a lot of it is real lightweight.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this generation of producers have the sample pack that they could just buy and download. That's why, I remember my daughter once told me, she said, how come all these songs sound the same? I said, they using the same sample pack. They buy them online or get them for free, and they use them.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nobody's chopping up beats and being creative. No more. So,
nope.
As you see, C-Dot, what drum beat I used and what you gonna do? It's from a famous group from New York.
Oh yeah. I ain't sample snitching on my show. Come on, man.
But I mean, you can't get sued over it because it was a drum beat and it came from a live party.
Oh yeah.
What are we all of a sudden you're turning into Schoolie D now, C-Dot?
No, well,
I ain't answering that question.
Nah, that was Flash to the Beat, the Bronx River version.
The Bozo Miko one.
Yep. I chopped it up in the SB 1200.
I'm gonna tell you something that bugged me out. When Flash and them went back to Sylvia, grabbed Kev from Fantastic and called himself the Furious Lovers and made Flash.
Oh no, they got not Kev, Waterbed. Waterbed Kev.
It was Waterbed Kev. It was 6 of them then. And they said, we're the Furious Lovers, my man. We came here tonight, but it wasn't the same effect as when Raheem was doing that live. That's where that Zulu comes from. Right. That's where Puerto Rico comes from.
But because I was at that party, but that party, Raheem is not singing. That's Mel, because Raheem had a sore throat that night.
Wow, that's crazy.
At Bronx River, because Raheem grew up in the same neighborhood as me.
Damn, so I never knew that was Mel. I thought that was Ra.
Yep. So Raheem lived right across the street from me in Lambert Project. Him and Sha Rock lived in the same building. Tony Tone from the Cold Crush lived up the block. Kaz was around that way. GQ, the group GQ was in the project there.
Wow.
Right.
It was like a lot of history came out of Lambert Project.
GQ, the first 5% is on record.
Yeah.
That was unique in them. Yeah, that was the gods. That was unique in them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't even know they were 5%.
Yeah, they were.
Wow.
Yeah.
History, man.
Yeah, I didn't know that was Mel. That's crazy that was
somebody else says they were at that party.
Oh yeah.
Empowerment Education says they were at that party.
Look, I remember we was trying to break our necks to see what Flash was doing, man, because we had never not seen anything what he was doing, man. Playing that beatbox, we were like, what? You know, because the stage was packed and they couldn't tell, clear the stage, that it was Zulu deep up in there, man.
Right,
so,
right.
But they killed it that night, man. So
wow.
Yeah, man. I always wish for these young kids that they could experience some. One thing is they lack the intimacy because everything's a big arena. Everything's Hot 97, Summer Jam, blah 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 blah. So because everything is a big arena, they lack the intimacy. We've played stadiums as well, but playing smaller rooms always felt better because you know who you are when you play a smaller room. You might get on a stadium stage and everybody's screaming anyway because they out there and they drunk. You go in a small room, if you can't hold it down, it'll show.
Yep, you will know.
They in a stadium with about 50 people with microphones on stage with them.
Yep.
Everyone yelling. I'm like, where's the group? The main dudes of the group.
Well, they don't think about the show. That's the other thing that they never will get unless they talk to us.
Right.
One of the things that I learned from like just watching my heroes, Cold Crush, all of these guys. So getting on stage meant something to me. Like, and the way I looked on stage, like all of that meant something to me in terms of what I was trying to do. and hold down. Like I refuse to be on stage looking like I look when I'm riding the train.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I'm on stage now. Like, let's take this. And I think that was one thing that I think that we took very, very seriously, that now it's a little difficult because of, you know, first of all, you know, we didn't have social media. We didn't have phones. We didn't have, so it's hardly, you know, you got one or two means of finding our music and hearing our music. If you couldn't find it, hear it this way, you just couldn't find it and hear it.
Right.
Where with them, it's everywhere and it's that kind of thing. So it turns into something different. I'm gonna go, I think next week I'm going to see Rod Wave and I forget who else. I forget who else is on the show, but I just want to see, I just want to watch.
Yeah. See how they do it.
Yeah.
Who you says on the show?
Rod Wave.
Who's that?
Rod Wave is
thank you.
He's one of the hot little young dudes, man. He dope. He dope. Though.
Okay. He's dope. But I think this generation, because they can just make records in their bedroom with their computers, so they're not educated or know how to get on stage and perform. And then most of them don't have A&Rs. We have to make sure, you're on stage and you're rehearsing and you know how to perform. But this generation, they could make a hot record out of their bedroom and just get thrown into the fire, man. So
it's true. It's true.
Like with me and Brother B, like we were saying, once we get gigs off this new music, we already been getting our outfits and everything. We want to look like a group on stage. Like you said, not like when you riding on the train, man. We got matching outfits, man. That's why, Doc, if you see on that show we did in London, we were rocking the same sweatsuits, man.
Yep. It was dope.
That's what Sonic always stays sharp.
People love that.
Yeah.
People love that so much. They just go crazy. People go crazy. It's just, I don't know, man. Like I said, man, my pitch will continuously be some type of way of us having communication with these guys and kind of mentoring them, because you can tell that they just look like a bunch of badass kids with no parents.
Yeah.
Right. But then KRS-One tried to do that with what's his name? When he was beefing with Ice-T.
Who, Soulja Boy?
Yeah, when Soulja Boy. Then I think I saw KRS-One.
Young Draco the right way. You can't talk to young Draco like that. He rich, man.
Right.
You got to talk. You know what I'm saying? That's what they don't know, man. You can't talk. He rich, man.
So I think I remember that he was saying that his old school was 50 Cent, so he didn't know about the
Draco. I live in Houston. Meet me at Nobu tomorrow. Bottles on me. All right. Bring whoever you want. Meet me at Nobu tomorrow.
I heard he's a big fan of the show, so I'm sure he got the message.
Yeah. Yep. Pretty sure.
So Donald.
Yeah.
Honored to put this out. The B-Boys. What you gonna do?
Yeah.
This is for the pioneers. Really looking forward to the album. And my last question is, why did it take so long?
Like I said, man, I was doing, like, Brother B came out to Italy and we recorded. I think we got about like 35 songs, but then I was doing other projects over here, man, because then he went back to America. So I was like, man, like we ain't gonna be able to travel. So I was working with an R&B singer over here. I was in a band called Cappuccino. So I had a lot of things going on. I was putting out my solo stuff. So I was like, it was just sitting in my computer, and I was like, man. And I wanted to do it. I was gonna do it like in 2020, but then the pandemic happened, and so I was like, man, if I put it out now, we ain't even gonna be able to make moves with it. We can't really perform it nowhere.
Right.
So I thought, now that I saw a shift of like people wanting to hear old school music, hip hop. So I said, man, this was the time was right, man.
Yeah. Yep. We're honored to have it, man, and so glad that you guys are back together. And finishing this up. I'm excited to hear the rest of the record, because I love the joints you sent. We
got some surprises that we kind of redid our b-boy stuff, the early stuff, but we did it in a. I mean, I guess I can talk about it on here.
Of course.
We kind of took it back to Public Enemy with Channel Zero, running them with Raising Hell. So we kind of did some rock, hip hop on it, man. That's pretty dope. Yeah. So they can get. We did Rock the House. We did Girls. We did Stick Up Kid. So
nice.
To break it up, because I know Body Count's gonna be going out once they finish their album, so we can get in on some opening acts, or Chuck and them do Prophets of Rage. We get an opening act slot. You know, you never know.
Right. Yep, exactly.
Oh, you got to put out the Donald D album on.
Well, yeah.
I got the Donald D album, but I'm doing all Afrobeat, man.
Well, that's what's up. And then you and I were talking about doing something too. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that one too. But I mean, yeah, I got something that I can put out now if you want to do it as a release.
All right.
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
Please let me know, because I think I know how to rhyme on that stuff.
I like the Afrobeat. Actually, I did some B-Boys remix of Afrobeat that's really dope that people over here, I let people hear and they love it. Yeah. I used a sample of a girl singing, which I want to see if I can get India Davenport to do the hook for me on it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to get it out to her and let her do her soulful thing on it.
Right.
And see where it goes, man. Because over here, that music is huge in European market, man. Between that and reggaeton, it's crazy over here.
Wow.
So I don't know. If you want to get a hit, you can do that style. They ain't gonna know. Right. I do that kind of music under alias names anyway. I'll do soul songs of urban love or something like that as a group. Kind of mix it up how George Clinton used to do. He used to be in a bunch of groups. Or Bam used to even do that. Be in Shango and Time Zone and Zulu and Soul Sonic. You just do it under alias. Africa Islam does that over here too. He got Charlie Funk, he got Mr. X, Africa Islam, and he put out different music under different genres.
Wow. Yep.
So
we're no strangers to that kind of shenanigans ourselves.
We are no strangers to that.
Are we?
Yep.
Oh, Dad. Yes, sir. Daddy-O. Ebony Chief. Daddy-O. That's
why I like all the stuff that Prince Paul be doing, man. That's not like the Stet sound, but all the other stuff. Matter of fact, he redid Girls.
Oh yeah, he did. He did. You're right.
That was really dope. I was like, okay, that's dope, man.
Yep. On psychoanalysis, right?
Yeah, I think that's what it was on.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, but I want to so keep me posted on what you said, the Impossible Thing project, Daddy.
Oh yeah. We'll get
definitely.
back to it.
Yeah,
we'll get back to it.
I would love to do a group thing, man. I miss probably 4 or 5 guys on stage doing some Jackson 5 routines.
Oh. Daddy-O, he's talking. He's talking to you.
I'm so down. You don't understand how down. Yo, man, I want to show the world.
Not even understand.
Donald, remember when Fantastic used to use Hit 'Em Up Sugar Ray when they used to come out?
That was their trademark intro when they battled Cold Crush that night at the Harlem.
It was. Yeah.
They came out and they had the girls screaming off it. They did their little routine dances off that. Yeah, man. I miss that, man. I really miss having the group, man.
Yeah.
We could throw Easy AD in the mix, man. He wants to record stuff. So even me and him.
Me and Doc are ready yesterday.
I know.
Before you.
Don't you like how he's throwing you in there, Doc?
No, we've been talking about it for Jen, we've been talking about it for so long, but Marcus passed away, and I was just like, I need to step back a minute because I don't know if I want to do this without Marcus, but I know that if Marcus is like, you're a fucking idiot. You better do it, that kind of thing.
Right.
Because come on, man,
Right. That's dope. I want to ask Daddy, where's damn, how come I had a memory of the other MC from your group?
Fruquan.
Yeah, Fruquan. Where is he these days?
He's digging graves.
He's what?
We don't talk about him anymore.
Okay, man. I mean, I don't. Okay, so I don't even know the story.
Fuquan joined the Grave Diggers. I don't know what year that was. And even though RZA is no longer a grave digger, Prince Paul is no longer a grave digger, and God bless the dead, Poetic died. Fuquan's still
right. Okay,
Fruquan
so
is still digging graves.
Yeah, he's still digging.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't even know that because on the new stuff I was like, okay, I don't see him involved in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you won't.
And before I go, Flatline, where are you at?
I'm in Seattle.
Okay, so you in the Mix-a-Lot country.
Yep.
So Mix-a-Lot.
Mm-hmm.
So do you know DJ Lady Love? You ever see her over there?
I know that name. I've never met her.
Because she lives over there now. She's old school DJ from Queens.
Right.
So she's in Seattle.
I'll have to keep an eye out for her.
So do you know the Zulus over there? Oh man, the brother that's in the wheelchair over there. Is it Kazam?
Kazam, yeah. No, I don't know him.
You don't know those guys over there?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Seattle.
Flatline's got his homework cut out for him.
I did. Yeah.
Yep.
I remember Seattle. The first time I was there, we on Lollapalooza tour. We burnt the guitar on stage with the lighter fluid.
Wow.
We did the Jimi Hendrix thing over there.
Wow.
Yeah, we were on the very first Lollapalooza tour, and they were kind of dissing us because we were hip hop black dudes, and they if you think of the groups that was on there, James Addiction, 9 Inch Nails, Henry Rollins, Butthole Surfers, even Living Color. Living Color was on that tour.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But after a few shows, everyone wanted to rock Syndicate hats and T-shirts. All the girls wanted to kick it with the Syndicate.
There you go.
Boy.
What was that? A shirt?
Yeah,
that was a Rhyme Syndicate T-shirt.
Oh, wow.
There you go.
That's worth money, man, online. You got Ice-T and Chuck D in the background.
Yeah.
Speed of life. Fast.
So Dom, Dom, before you go, I want to bring our second special guest of the evening onto the show just so you can say what up because he just came into the house. Ladies and gentlemen, from Arrested Development, the one and only Speech.
What's up, fam? What's up, Donald D?
What's up, Speech?
Doing good.
The legendary Speech.
The legendary Donald D. What's up? What's up, Daddy O? What's up? What's up,
my man?
Oh, Jenny, what's up? See, Doc.
What's up, brother? How are you, sir?
Doing good. Doing good.
Fantastic.
Real good, actually.
Yeah. So I wanted to bring you on real quick just because we're wrapping up Don's interview.
Word up.
Right.
So you said what up.
Speech, y'all just got off a European tour, right?
Yeah, we've probably been back about 2 weeks now, maybe a week and a half.
Okay. Yeah, Europe, you can still make a living, man.
Yeah, man. Thank God for Europe, Canada, Africa, like these places, Australia, Japan, these are the places that without them, I don't know, it's just tough.
I've been living in Europe. I've been here for 20 years now, man.
Where you at now? Where you at?
I live in Italy, Firenze, Florence.
Okay. I love Italy. Yeah, I love Italy.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Yes. So yeah, man. Arrested Development, dope music y'all put out.
Thank you, man. Salute on that. Thank you very much.
Yeah, man.
Shout out to the Rhyme Syndicate too. That was dope.
Yeah.
That T-shirt you just pulled out. And Lollapalooza. I think we was on the Lollapalooza right after y'all.
Now, I think the second one was Ice Cube.
Okay, word. So we was 93. We was 93.
Yep.
Okay, so then y'all were right after. So we was 92.
We was right after y'all. Yep. 93. We was rocking 93. It was incredible.
Wow. Oh man, and then what's your I'm losing his name. your boy over there that was just on tour with y'all opening up.
Twan Mac.
Twan, yeah, man. Me and Twan.
Twan Mac comes from my hometown. See, so I'm from Milwaukee, and I rock with me and Twan Mac hung out together, and literally in high school we was in the same clique. Like we had a crew together called Fresh Walking Family. So yeah, I've known Twan forever.
Crazy. Twan is a good MC, man. He's good. He's dope.
He is. He's dope. He's dope. I hope he's watching right now. He's gonna be very encouraged to hear you shout.
Yeah, man. Come on, man. Yeah, he's dope, man. I like the stuff that he's doing, man.
No doubt, he's dope.
And everything. And you too.
Shout out, Daddy-O. Salute, my brother. Salute.
Oh, salute, man. I mean, you know, we still got an album to make, Speech.
I know. Night Train, indeed.
Yeah.
I mean,
leave a verse for me. Let me jump on the song.
Yeah,
man.
Chuck wants to change. I know, Donald D, you're gonna love this. So Chuck, even though Chuck likes the ideology behind Night Train, he really wants to form it in the name of for the sake of heavy music.
Yeah.
Okay, word up.
So you know, and basically that allows us three to be the kind of main people, but then we can invite people because it's for the sake of heavy music. And he thought, which I agree, that could also cross genre.
Yep, facts.
You know what I mean? So it doesn't have to always be, you know, kind of straightforward hip hop. We could do some other things. So
we could do a lot of crazy things with that.
Yeah. Yep. So we're doing it's a lot. Got a lot of records to make, man. We gotta stay alive.
No doubt about it, man. Salute.
Okay. All right, guys. So I'm gonna get out of here, man. And y'all have a good night.
Yo, we be in touch, bro. I get all the information from C-Dot.
All right. Okay. All right.
Thanks, Don.
I want to exchange information with you too. From C-Dot can hopefully we can make that happen. Yeah.
Yep.
Definitely speak. All right, guys. All right, Jennifer and Flatline. C-Doc, I'll be talking to you tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Thanks, Don. Appreciate it, bro.
All right. Peace, Daddy-O.
Peace.
All right. So there you go. Donald D, B-Boys, Rhyme Syndicate in the house. And now we're talking to Speech.
Yeah.
What's up, brother? How are you?
Man, I'm doing great. Man. It's good to see the legends all on here. It's great to see it's great to get the energy, the vibe. You know what I mean?
Yes, definitely.
Yes.
So I want to start off by saying, because today is the anniversary of my favorite Arrested Development album. Yeah.
Yes. Zingalamaduni.
My favorite. Yep.
Thank you.
For me, it's your masterwork.
Thank you. I appreciate that. You are not alone. There's a lot of people that feel like that record is the best record of Arrested Development's catalog. So I'm very, very, very humbled.
Yeah, no, I want to ask about that. But first, the other thing I wanted to share with you was that I'm going to bring it up on screen here because it surprised the hell out of me. Is you posted earlier about it.
Yeah.
And the last picture of your post is my son, David.
Oh, yeah. I saw that. Yo, your son has the most cool mug. Like the way he's looking with that is so gangster. Like to me, it's just so like, oh my God. How old was he when he did that pic right there?
I gotta go back and look because I know we've done a couple of these. Because when the anniversary comes around, we always post it up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So this is in my office here, and the AC is still there, and I took that out a couple years ago. So
right. So it's been a minute.
Yeah, it's been a minute. So yeah, I said it to my wife immediately. I'm like, go to the last picture. So that was great.
It, man.
Thank you.
Yeah. I always love that picture. It's just dope. It says so much. You know what I'm saying? It says so much to me.
He's a character. He's an actor, and so that's just him putting on his face. So, yeah. But anyway, so I wanted to talk real quick about Zingalamaduni because it was, for me, it was an important record because it was a record that came out at a time when I needed it.
Word.
And because I was always into music that meant something. Not to say that I didn't like gangster rap, because I listened to everything.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, but you know, the industry had shifted when that record came out in '94.
Yeah.
And so when it came out, and then what was dope about it was on the intro, you guys were talking about all the conscious like artists that had records coming out that year. And I was and it was like, yes, okay, this is fantastic, this is amazing. And it got me excited about what was coming up. But what was it like going from, you had a massive debut album, and then a lot of immediate success from that record, and then going into the second record? What was it like? What was the thought process behind it? Because it's I love the first record, but the second one feels much more cohesive.
Word up. Yeah, obviously a lot of different people have different views on this music, but for me personally, it was a trying time, because we had the success with the first album, and the label put a lot of pressure on me to put something out in a particular quarter, because they wanted to make certain money. And I honestly didn't know how to fight back on that, because I was the only person that at the time that I really was like, I grew up not having people around that was on labels and doing deals. So I didn't have a lot of people to sort of get that advice from, to sort of say to the label, no, let's wait a little bit. Let's do this, let's do that. So I went into the studio immediately and just started working on stuff. But at the same time, internally, the group was going through a lot of beefs and I want to call it growing pains. And then of course, just sort of the pressure, as a producer / writer. So it was a lot on my mind, so what I really wanted to focus on was the things that meant the most to me, you know what I mean? As opposed to all that stuff that was swarming around. I think the stuff that I just mentioned that was swarming around. So like the only song that I think I really sort of hinted at some of the inner turmoils was Ease My Mind, which was our first single. Other than that, everything else was sort of just talking about the things that I felt was still the most important at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? So like things like United Front, United Minds, just things that I felt like needed to be said in the field at that time. So it was a tripped out moment. You know what I mean? It was really deep.
Right. So we just got a little visit from our regular co-host, So Chuckified, who is out traveling the wilderness of America somewhere.
A legend in his own mind.
That's right. Checking in. Where are you at, Chuck?
Don't mind.
We just got back from Bryce Canyon in Utah. So we just got back to the campground. Listen, you talk about legends. Speech, man. Thank you for joining the show, bro.
Yeah, man. Thank y'all for having me. It's already a pleasure.
John, I lost my mind.
Come on.
That's so dope, man.
Thank you.
So we knew we knew he was going to make an appearance.
Yeah, I've got really bad connection, but I did want to just pop in and say, Speech, you really you were very impactful on my life. I really dug Arrested Development and your all's message, and just keep doing it, man. I really appreciate it.
No doubt. I mean, I hope have you heard the albums recently, like Don't Fight Your Demons, For the Effing Love? Have you heard those joints?
So I've heard some of it. I have young children, so I don't get to listen to any hip hop. So,
but that stuff has no cussing on it. That has no cussing on it at all. So peep it out. Yeah.
Oh no, it's not that. They don't like hip hop.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Yeah. My
That's funny.
Hey,
Word up.
Chuck, don't feel bad. My daughter doesn't like hip hop either.
Oh, is that right? I thought I raised them right, because they grew up on PE and all that, and they still they don't like it. So it is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. You can't control it all.
Yep.
Well, listen, thank you all for letting me barge in. Speech. Love you, man. Appreciate
Love you too, man. Enjoy that, man. You need some time to ease your mind.
That's right.
Trying to do.
Yeah,
all right, y'all.
Be safe out there, Chuckified.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Later.
All right, bro.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
that's dope.
We had Jenny. What was the episode? Who were you talking to? When we were talking to YZ a couple weeks ago, Chuck D came in on the show. He was on an airplane.
Yeah.
And so he checked in from his flight.
Sunglasses, a gator up.
Yeah. And
he was past his nose and a hoodie.
We couldn't hear him, so he was just kind of texting us. But, you know.
We couldn't hear him, so he texted everything.
Yeah.
It was
hysterical.
That's love.
That's love. Yep. Shout out to Chuck D, man. That's my brother, man. That's my brother.
Yep. Yeah, shout out to Chuck.
No doubt about it.
Be careful what you wish for. He might show up.
Hey, that's always that's my brother, man. He's literally my hip hop hero.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Indeed. Oh, I sent him the link, but I know he's busy today, so I'm not sure if he'll stop by or not. But if he does, cool. So it's all good. So, we'll get back to So, where were we? Zingalamaduni. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No, it's a very positive record. You know, and if there was internal beef in the group or whatever, you can't tell from the music. So.
Well, that was. I'm glad you said that. Yeah. For me, you know, there was a stretch of time where I couldn't listen to that record. Wow. I literally couldn't listen to it because it brought back traumas. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then, as time went on, probably about 10 years later, I was able to really enjoy the record like I did once we were done recording it. Like it took me that long to sort of be able to just listen to the music separate from all the drama that was going on at the time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wow. Amazing stuff. So, okay. And so then that makes sense then. I'm guessing that's why you did a solo record after that.
Yeah, we stopped after that record. We didn't literally break up. What we did is we just stopped talking to each other and we stopped going places. And that record you're holding up, the speech joint, was me just recording. It really wasn't supposed to be a solo album. It was just me recording stuff. Because by this time I bought a studio, I had a home studio, which is what I'm in right now. I recorded that album in here in this very room. And so I had a home studio. I'm still very creative. I was just going at it. But the group was not talking to each other. So at that time, the speech album was sort of just I don't know about an accident, but it was, I guess the only way it could go was just me putting out some stuff by myself for a while. Yeah. I did that. So yeah, it was a crazy moment of time.
Yeah. Wow. Interesting.
Daddy-O, I'm just very curious with Stet. Did y'all ever have because y'all are a band just like we are?
We still having it.
And that's I was wondering, because I know that this is common, but I'm like,
no, ours gets really deep. It gets really deep. I mean, the one thing that I will say is that there's something to say about the mind of a musician.
Yeah.
So some of us approach hip hop and rap. Sometimes they together, sometimes not. But some of us approach hip hop and rap as artists.
Yep.
And then others approach it as musicians.
Yeah.
So the fight
is
always the artists versus the musicians.
Right. Yeah.
It's always that. It's always that. It's the, I remember when Fuquan left the group. Fuquan left the group for the stupidest thing in the world. It was over clothing.
Word up.
He had always taken money out of our purse to buy clothes for the group.
Wow.
That's everybody. Boom. If we got $10 and we got to spend $3, then we split $7 and $3 goes to the clothes.
Right. I got you.
He got on some real, because he went to tailor school and all of that stuff. And, he got on some, I can make my own clothes. And I'm like, Fuquan, we about to go to London.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I got to get this stuff. And, I'm getting it at good prices. It's Delancey Street, New York. But
word up.
It was just, and it was always stuff like that. It's like dumb little. DB called Bobby 3 years ago and said, I don't want to do it this no more. And Bobby says, why? And he says, oh, because Daddy-O said on one of his interviews that I came to him. Y'all came to me.
Right. So it's stuff like that. Okay, I feel you.
Yo, what is he talking about? You know what I mean? And then we be bugging. Me and Bobby be bugging because we be having checks for cats.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like we be having money for dudes.
Right.
You know what
exactly,
I mean? Like, yo, come on, get this money. And
right. Exactly.
They hold on to whatever they trying to hold on. Like, really? Buddy, I still got a gas company. There's still a mortgage there. There's still something there.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean? And you know, me, Chuck, and Ice-T are dumb because we got young kids.
Right, yeah.
Ice is dumber than all of us, but you know, Chuck's dumber than me. I'm smarter than them. Mine is 13 at least. But you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We got to do this movement. We got to do this movement. I feel you.
Yeah, always. But I honestly think, Speech, it's the musician versus the artist. Yeah. Because musicians, man, like I was telling them earlier, man, I was today in the car just geeking out on songs in the key of life. And I was like, yo, musicians is approaching this different because I don't know how I'm feeling. I'm a rapper and I'm feeling this record like this.
Right, exactly.
I'm feeling this record like this and I'm a rapper. I am not feeling this because I could sing or none of that.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just an issue of I want to make my place in the music.
That's right.
I want to make my imprint in the music. I'm not really trying to hear nothing y'all trying to say.
Right.
Unless it has something to do with this imprint in the music.
Facts.
You know, I grew up Marvin, Michael, the Temps, the Four Tops. I'm trying to make my way. You know, I'm just a little rapper from Brooklyn, man.
Yep.
I am not Eddie Kendricks, bro.
Right, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I don't have that luxury.
Yeah, facts.
Of meeting Berry Gordy and all of that. I don't have that luxury. So I'm trying to just make this work. But in terms of the popularity, I'm not gonna tell you I did it for that because I really didn't, bro.
Me either. Yeah. Same here.
You know, and none of this means anything to me.
Right, exactly.
I could care less.
Yeah. I try to make my sanity with the insane. Got a secondary the most when they scrap for money. This is lyrics from Ease My Mind. That's what I was talking about. The same thing you just kicked. That's what I was talking about during that record. Yeah, I feel you on that.
Yeah.
But don't you suppose also?
Go ahead,
don't you suppose also the minute you put, like with Stet, the minute you put 7 people all in a room, you've got 7 different personalities.
Yeah, you're right.
And they're gonna clash.
You're absolutely right. I mean,
after a while, they're gonna clash.
Yeah.
I guess my I don't even want to call it like I'm fooled, but my vision of it was, and I say this to this day, Mandrill, Earth, Wind, and Fire, Brass Construction, who we grew up with in Brooklyn.
Facts.
I watched all these bands. So I'm watching all these bands. I'm like, I don't know that they beefing. You know, they probably are. You know what I mean? But I don't know that they beefing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So all I'm trying to do is be like those bands. And I'm thinking, the way I'm thinking, Jennifer, Earth, Wind, and Fire probably had 8. Mandrill might have had 9. I only got 7.
And we had 6. I'm thinking the same way because this is pre Wu-Tang. This is, you know, my thinking was it's community. That's how I was thinking. So it's like, to me, this is a community. This is a neighborhood. That's how we were in my mind. You know, we had the elder.
But do you get along with your next door neighbor all the time?
No. And so I don't think that I had the unrealistic thought that we get along with every single thing, but keeping the main focus on what we're striving to do in general. Just keep it pushing on. Like we can work through things. You know, we got issues here, we got little issues there, but not issues big enough to sabotage everything that we're striving to do. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
So yeah, it's not that you'll agree on everything. No.
But you're still gonna end up with that one person who's had a little too much smoke blown up their ass.
Facts.
Or whatever the deal is, and it can all go to hell in a handbasket really quickly.
It's tough. It's a tough thing to do. I mean, I'll tell you this though. Now it's a lot better. Like
Yeah.
I was going to ask if it's gotten better.
It's a lot better. I'm 53 years old. I work with everybody in the crew because now I work with generations of Arrested Development. So there's members that have been with me for 25 years, 31 years, to down to 3 years. You know what I mean? So I've had generations of Arrested Development, and I know how to work with all of them so much better now. And I'm so grateful because we're having a lot more fun, believe it or not, now than we did back in the 90s when, we were selling millions of records and all of this kind of stuff. We're having way more fun right now. Way more fun.
Is it like it's less pressure?
Too.
A lot less pressure, but not just because of the sales, but it is a lot less pressure. But it's a lot less pressure because everything is more upfront. Monies are talked about upfront. We understand what's going on. Everybody understands what we're striving to do. I was 20 when Zingalamaduni came out. I think I was somewhere around 24. So those of y'all that have children that age, which I do, I have a son that's 28, my daughter's 25. You realize you're just a kid. You know what I mean? So, and it was our first album, meaning Zinga was our second album. So you're not very knowledgeable on everything. And I didn't grow up in New York where I had people around me that I knew from my hood that already had made it, already had deals. Let me talk to them. We didn't have none of that. It was from Atlanta and I'm from Milwaukee. So Milwaukee, there was nobody that was on at that time. Right. And then in Atlanta, there was nobody that was on when we came out that was like worldwide doing anything really huge at that time. So it's tough.
Yeah.
I think that has a lot to do with it as well, though. There's no weight on your shoulders. There's no urgency to anything. You don't have a bunch of people standing behind you going, but speech, you got to do, and speech, what about, and speech. But you don't have any of that anymore. So I think that makes a huge difference with these guys, Stetsasonic. All bets are off at this point. So they can do what they want to do.
Yeah.
And they don't have anybody to answer to really but themselves.
Yo, that single, Patio, that Stet single is crazy.
Oh, thank you, sir. I think you might be a little more impressed with the next one.
I'm not going to doubt that. The first one was crazy.
Love.
Yeah, Love's a good record. Good record.
Yeah, you're gonna really like the next one.
I don't doubt it.
The guys are putting out, man. It took a minute to convince them, but they really putting out speech. They putting out. Good. I mean, because I always tell people this story about when I put out my solo record, right? So I had put out my solo record on Brooktown Polygram, and I started getting picked up like all over the country. So Polygram's like, yo, you got to go on a promo tour because this is kind of working. I was kind of doing like all the summer jams across the country. But in a few cities, I went #1 with Brooklyn Bounce. So Virginia was one of those places that I went #1 with Brooklyn Bounce. Yeah. I was not the headliner, but I was real close to the headliner because the record was so big.
Right.
Bro, midway through my show, I just looked around. I had Richie with me. That's my best friend. He was my hype man. He knew how to do it and everything. We rehearsed. But I looked around. I said, man, where the hell are my guys?
Right, yeah.
I just couldn't. I couldn't understand why I had to handle this whole thing by myself.
right, yeah.
I couldn't get it. Like, really? I got to rap 3 more full records myself? For real?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, it's always a pleasure for me when they put out. It's a lot easier to make records nowadays. And, now I'm different now. I could kill it now. But then it was different. So, it's just, I'm happy, man. I'm happy. I think it's coming out good, too.
You should be, man. You should be. You should be very proud, bro.
Thank you, sir.
And so, Speech, with your new stuff, you guys seem to have hit a new groove over the last couple of albums.
Facts. Yeah.
It's
going really well. I mean, like the fan interest and engagement with our new stuff has been incredible. And, albums of the year list, people really excited about the music. The vinyl's going through, numbers are going great. Merch is going great. Shows are doing incredible. we just did 35 dates in 42 days. So, we really, we really hit it hard, you know what I'm saying, all throughout Europe. And we're not done. I mean, we're about to do 3 nights in Atlanta City Winery. One sold out. The other 2 are like 20 tickets away from being sold out. So, I mean, it's going great. Like, yeah, I'm really excited. It's a resurgence in a really cool way.
That's dope.
I was going to say, don't you have something for Juneteenth?
Yeah, in fact, we're doing a whole celebration for Juneteenth. It's our first annual, so this one's going to be like a trial, but we're doing an annual Juneteenth celebration for Atlanta, and it's going to be amazing. We got a speaker, we got various booths and things like this, and it's a lot of guests coming through. So it's going to. Hey, Daddy-O, where are you at, bro?
I am presently in Jacksonville, but I live in Houston.
Okay, cool. I was gonna say, man, you got to come through.
No. When are you doing the Atlanta show? Because I just drove that drive from Jacksonville to Atlanta is nothing.
You're right. My band, a lot of my band is in Well, 3 of my band members are in Jacksonville. So, it's the 19th. So Juneteenth, the 20th, and the 21st, all at City Winery. All so right. Any of those days, bro, I would love to have you, shoot through and rock with us, or even just come and enjoy. Either way you want to do it.
Oh yeah. I'll definitely come through.
That would be dope. And hit me up anytime. We'll work.
We'll build on it. Yeah.
But that'd be dope, man. I would love to have you come through, bro.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
And then I'm pretty sure you guys are going to be in Pittsburgh on Saturday, right?
The 18th. On the 18th, we're in Pittsburgh, and it's going to be incredible. So, and then we're going to New York too. We'll be in New York on July 3rd. So,
word.
Yeah, we're going to be at Central Park.
Wow.
At Central Park. Yeah,
well,
it's gonna be crazy.
I will see you Saturday in Pittsburgh because that's
where
I'm at.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, it's gonna be incredible, man. It's gonna be incredible.
Yeah, dope. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it because I somehow have never seen you guys live before. I don't know.
Well, we're it's a full band. It's a full band. I mean, we rock samples and everything like that too, but it's a full band. And to my knowledge, the second to ever do it. The first is right here on this here. You know what I'm saying? So
unless you talk to Cosmo from Nucleus.
Oh, okay. There you go. That makes sense.
Because Cosmo says that Stetsasonic is not the first hip hop band, that they were on the Fresh Fest in Atlanta playing instruments.
There you go. Well, there you go. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's why I always, whenever I say these things, I always say to my knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. Yep. Yeah. Oh, I love Nucleus too, actually. They killer.
Yeah, I love Cosmo, man. I love that guy, man.
Yeah.
I love that guy.
Yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to it. So
yeah, it's gonna be great. It should be a great time.
Yeah, excellent. I had a question and it totally left my mind because you guys started talking about.
See, if anybody would ever come out here to LA, that would be a big thing. But
we're coming to LA. We're gonna be at the Microsoft Theater with Too Short. It's gonna be crazy. Coming up.
Come on, Jen. Too Short's dope.
I forget the exact date, but it's gonna be a big show. It's on our website, so we're at the Microsoft Theater. So come through.
That's a big show, yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Microsoft
it's like
Theater.
I think Sir Mix-a-Lot's on the joint. I think I know Too Short's on it. Yeah, it's gonna be like a lot of old school like hip hop.
Oh no, we lost Jennifer O'Jenny. She's gone.
Jennifer O'Jenny.
I'm leaving. I'm done.
Left.
So what?
Sir Mix-a-Lot, Too Short.
Well,
no,
Arrested Development. You know what I'm saying? So come see the show. Come see the show. Come see the show.
Yeah.
So since you just came out of Europe, what was I'm just curious what the live show vibe and atmosphere was like coming out post-COVID.
It was absolutely outrageous. Like the energy was crazy. You literally could feel, you could cut it with a knife. Everybody was excited. The energy of the shows it's outstanding. Like just energy from start to finish. Everybody's just going nuts. And I was just really, really impressed with the crowds. Just great energy. Great energy.
That's it right there.
What date is it, bro?
Saturday, July 30th.
There you go. July 30th.
Vanilla Ice.
Vanilla Ice. Yeah, go ahead.
It says Vanilla Ice, Too Short, and Arrested Development.
Oh, that's it. Just 3. Okay, I thought it was way more.
But I know it might be more. This is just the site that I saw.
Okay, I got you.
Just grabbed the biggest names.
Yeah. So that's when we're. But don't get me wrong. I want to come to LA just an Arrested Development show. Period. Like that's a no-brainer.
Yeah, that would be dope.
That would be very dope. And it's really funny. It's rare that we really do shows in LA anymore. We used to do them a lot,
right?
But I think someone on this interview said how Europe. Maybe it was Donald D said it, but like Europe really has given us way more love, like Europe, Australia, Japan. Yeah. So I mean, it just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't dictate for people what they want to get with, but at the same time, we would love to come to LA more often because I do love rocking there.
Yeah, that's dope. It's funny the respect that outside of America that they have for the American music, the classic American hip hop sound, that we don't still quite have here. I mean, you do in pockets, but it, I don't know. It's kind of strange to me.
Well, America, in my opinion, is a very disposable. We've become a very consumer-based, disposable, what's new kind of culture. And that has been, a disservice to us musically to some extent. Because to me, I mean, I feel like over there, they still just appreciate, and I say over there, meaning general, because like I said, different parts, Australia, different places. They tend to really like get deep into whatever they dig, they just dig it. And they really want to hear what's new from these artists. And they just really want to continue the whole trajectory with these artists. That's been our experience.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I've seen that a lot. I mean, Chuck has always said that their home base, PE's home base is London.
Wow.
Yep. Mm-hmm. He maintains that. He's like, that's Public Enemy's home base is London.
I did not really know that. I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're from New York, but London is their home base.
I know what you're saying. Yeah, because I mean, obviously they use that intro for "It Takes a Million" from the London joint, Yeah. And I just thought that that was just circumstantial. I didn't really actually think that London was sort of like one of their hottest, hubs for fan base and stuff like that.
Yeah. So I always thought that was interesting. And I was in Paris with Chuck once, and the guy from the label that was taking us around was playing something on the radio station, and the variety that was on the station at the time was just mind-blowing to me. I'm like, this is what you guys have on the radio here.
Yeah.
Because they were playing contemporary stuff, but then they were playing old school R&B, and it was just it really bugged me out. I'm just like, this is awesome. This is so cool.
Sound like American radio in the 60s.
That's exactly right. It sound like American radio even in the 90s. Because like for me, I remember that, and I was a big proponent of that. So I used to do concerts. Like I used to promote shows here in Atlanta. My company Vagabond put on some of the biggest and dopest hip hop shows in Atlanta. And one of my biggest things was to strive to cross collateralize the different genres, but also the different eras of music, making sure that people could get introduced to the newer stuff, but the newer generation could get introduced to what was older stuff, and just pollinate it all, put it all together. You know what I mean? And our shows were extremely successful. Yeah, so I've always believed in that.
Is that when you started rhyming?
No, I started rhyming in probably like 80, maybe 82, somewhere in there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had a group called Attack, which was in Milwaukee, and we were trying to make it. We hooked up with Juan Atkins, who's a legend in Detroit with house music and techno sort of house music. And we hooked up with him to try to get a break because he was in the Midwest. I was in the Midwest in Milwaukee, but it never really took off. So that was my first time really rhyming per se. I used to be a DJ before that.
That's right,
I have a question about that.
Yeah, please. Flatline.
Well, is that where all the remixes come from? Your passion for them, in terms of like, if you look at the first and second albums, especially, there's so many remixes that you could like put out a remix album if you wanted to.
Yeah, definitely. It's funny because the first album, especially the first singles, I put out a lot of remixes. You know, I did the remix for People Every Day that blew up, right? So it's a Metamorphosis mix.
Yep.
Because being from Milwaukee and being from Atlanta, I didn't feel like we had a guaranteed pathway. So I wanted to make sure that if people didn't like this version, they might like that version. We just wanted to make sure we could stay on. Like, that was the real point, because at that time it was really East Coast and West Coast doing most of the work in hip hop. So it wasn't a guarantee that we would have a run. You know what I mean?
Right.
So the remix to me was more of a conduit to just trying to make sure we caught y'all's attention. Like,
right.
If they don't like this version, they might like this version. Let me give them that version. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's just let's catch something here. You know what I mean? So, and it was a lot of putting our people on, because like the Tennessee single had remixes by a brother named DJ Nabs, who's really big here now. But at the time, DJ Nabs wasn't as big, and but he was crazy dope as a DJ. So I wanted to put him on, like, as a turntable instrumentalist, and just putting people on that we knew in the Atlanta scene.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Shout out to DJ Premier for the Ease My Mind remix. Ugh.
That was crazy.
Great.
Ease My Mind remix was ridiculous.
Yep.
Shout out to DJ Premier.
Yeah, man. That was a team up I never saw coming, but man.
But see, you know what's funny? I saw it. I don't know if y'all know, like, on the Dwick video, I think it's either Premier or Guru is rocking a Arrested Development t-shirt.
Yeah, one of them are.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're rocking 3 years, 5 months, 2 days in the life of t-shirt. I guess my point is, we used to hang with Gangstar because we were on the same label. So we were on Chrysalis, and their label was called, I forget, like, it was some subsidiary of Chrysalis. So
yeah,
from a behind, what was it?
A Payday, I think.
Payday. So behind the scenes, I didn't see it as Payday. I just saw it as Chrysalis, because we were all doing a lot of the same promo runs together. We were at shows together. So, in Gangstar, we loved them. In fact, when we first got signed to Chrysalis, as a label, they didn't have any hip hop except for Gangstar. So for me, I'm looking at what they were doing with Gangstar to try to see how they would do with us. Like, so to me, it was a match that was very easily made. And me and Premier, I had deep respect for Gangstar, and still do, of course. But, so at that time, it was a no-brainer for us.
Yeah. Oh man, it's so dope.
You talked about that on the new album. I think it was on one of the songs on the new album, talking about rocking with the Gangstar, and you were
exactly on We Are Not in Kansas. Yeah, We Are Not in Kansas. And that's true. Yeah, that was one of the incidents when we were first brought to New York, and just seeing the total different scene. It was a whole nother underground scene that we weren't used to in Atlanta, and for me being from Milwaukee. So just different energies, different scenes.
So after you went through I'm going to take it back for a minute. You Arrested Development had the issues. You did the solos projects. You did 2, I think.
No, I did probably about 6 or 7 solo joints, but in the States, only 3. One with Chrysalis, and then on 2 independent in the States. A record called Spiritual People and a record called Hoopla.
Right. Hoopla was the other one I was thinking of. Yeah. Okay. Yep. And so what was the impetus to bring the group back together? How did that happen?
It was actually Ishi, one of the members of the group, the sister that's on the Zingalamaduni cover.
Okay.
Mocho Ishi called me one day and said, Speech, we got more work to do. We got to put this group back together. And I totally agreed with her. And it was pretty much a no-brainer. We had a really good talk about business, about who runs what, how does this happen, how does that happen? And we came to some agreements. And some of us from the original group didn't join on, but that was totally on their choice. And then those that wanted to rock forward, we did. And it was a blessing. So that was in the year 2000. And we came out with a record called Heroes of the Harvest. We didn't release that in the States. We only released it in Japan, because by that time, my Japanese career was huge. Like, my solo stuff was huge in Japan, like huge. So #1 records, #3, #5, top 10. So a lot of love there in Japan. And so we decided to release it in Japan just because that's where the most momentum was and energy.
Gotcha. That makes sense. Yeah, Jungle Brothers had a record like that too that only came out in Japan. We're trying to finally get it out here in the States, working on that. So the little things. But yeah, it's funny how the different markets responded at the time.
No doubt about it, which is a blessing, by the way. It's not a curse. That's a blessing, man. I'm telling you, I'm so grateful that the world is not as little as or small as people think it is. You know, it's actually bigger, and that's a blessing, you know.
Yeah. Yep. So now you're riding a new wave of momentum, and is it going to keeping it going? More Arrested Development on the way? Are you going to tour for a while, or
I was going to retire? I mean, I don't know if you heard, because I mentioned it on the record, but I was going to retire, and I still want to retire deep down. But the truth is, so it's been a journey, but like for the last 2 or 3 years since COVID, I made a decision. Like, okay, let me keep writing, let me keep going. And then, these brothers, Daddy-O and Chuck D, Daddy-O spearheading it, he's been talking and plus Daddy-O's been inspiring me, just all the material is putting out and just continuously excelling. And I'm just like, you know what? Let's keep going.
I thought I was going to say, I thought I had heard that it was going to be for the fucking love was going to be the last record.
Facts. That was really where I was at. That wasn't like a little ploy or something. That was really where I was at. I was done. And I wasn't like throwing in the white flag or anything. It was more so just, I don't know. For me, here's the deal. My parents, my mother's 83, my father's 87, and they still work. And I didn't want to be in that position.
Right.
And I said this on one of the songs on Don't Fight Your Demons. It's called You'll See. I talk about, I didn't want, and this is not a diss to James Brown and Mr. Brown. When he was alive, I used to do tours with him. Arrested Development did. And for me, it was a scenario of, I didn't feel like he was at his best health-wise, performance-wise, energy-wise. And I felt, for me, I was like, I don't want to be in that situation. Like, I want to try to make a way out before I feel like I'm not giving my best anymore.
Right.
So that's where I was, but I decided to keep going. And I do feel like I'm giving my best. So I feel like it's better than ever.
Just be Frankie Beverly.
There you go. And Frankie Beverly is an anomaly, isn't he? Like, that dude is the Grateful Dead of black music.
It's nuts, buddy. It's nuts.
It's nuts.
It's nuts. It's really, it really is not. No, the vocal is nuts, because that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense for him to be that vocally dope.
Yep,
you hear God bless it, that we even heard Whitney go into raspy and all of that.
Facts.
Frankie Beverly don't do none of that.
No, none of that. Patti LaBelle too. Patti LaBelle is a beast, man.
Patti LaBelle is a beast. You know who else
still comes with it?
Gladys is a beast.
Gladys Knight is a beast. An absolute beast. So we got some people that's still bringing their absolute A+ game.
Yeah. Yes.
Yep.
Man, I'm so impressed. So impressed.
Yes. That's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. So, all right. Well, Speech, we're not going to keep you much longer. I want to thank you for coming on the show tonight.
Nice, man. It's good to be here.
Yeah, man.
Goodbye.
Come back anytime. And I know we got. Oh, yeah. Radio Raheem's show says keep going, bro. So, you got the new record out for the fucking love.
Yep.
Touring.
Peep it out. We're so proud of it. So proud.
Yeah,
we got my man Big Daddy Kane's on there. The single Vibe is featuring Big Daddy Kane, Cleveland P. Jones, Tasha LaRae is absolutely incredible. Swing 'em featuring Master Ace. You know what I'm saying? Fat Man Scoop, Del P from Philly. By the way, if Del P is going to join us on this Pittsburgh show coming up Saturday.
Oh, word. That's what's up.
Yeah,
I can't wait for. Yeah, I'm excited for that. I'm excited for the show.
Yeah.
And then also too, you are on a Spit Slam situation. You're on a joint by the homie Chrome. Actually, you're on a couple.
Chrome is my dude, man. He's been inspiring to me for so long. And so Brother Ali, Mr. Chuck D, myself.
Yep.
Doug Wimbush from Living Color.
Yep.
Donald D mentioned Living Color on the first Lollapalooza tour. Yeah, so it's a lot of legendary vibe on there. It's a fantastic song too.
Yeah, it's really dope. And then you rhyme on one of the other joints, and because I'm on that song with you. I don't know if you knew that, but
Which song is it? I'm trying to think.
I don't remember what it's called.
Me
But
either.
it's real fast. I don't know if there's a title for it yet.
Oh yeah. You talking about? Was that back in the day, or was that recently?
No. This is recent.
Okay.
It's for the new record, but
okay.
I can't. Let me hang on. Give me a second. I'll look it up.
Okay.
Yeah, it's you and me and the homie CM.
Okay.
And I can't find it. Where is
you
it?
have to play it for me.
yeah, man. I gotta. I just don't remember what he called it. Come Together Now. Maybe that's what it's called.
Okay, so that's what I thought. So that joint, I recorded that probably 10 years ago.
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't know that.
I recorded that verse probably 10 years, and I think it's a crazy verse. I love it.
It is.
Now, that verse has totally a lot of double meanings, and I don't know, double entendres, right? Triple entendres as well. Like, you got to listen to that verse really closely to see what I feel is the brilliance of that verse. It's a great. I'm really proud of that.
All I know is I was like, I don't know how I'm going to keep up. But then, Chrome said he liked it. So I'm like, okay, it's all good. So, I'm looking forward to that coming out when he gets it finished. We're getting closer wrapping that album up. I didn't realize that verse was 10 years old. Wow.
10 years old at least. Yeah. And I don't know if y'all heard the Bullets joint that me, Chuck D, Daddy O, joint is great. The remix, that is dope.
Yep.
Bullets is crazy.
Yeah, Bullets is like, I love that joint. Yeah, that's really, really nice.
So more to come from that situation.
I know.
We got it.
Yep.
Without a question.
On the way. Yep.
Now that I'm not quitting, the sky's the limit.
Oh yeah, there he is. CM in the house. What up, bro?
CM, what's up?
Yep. Speech, C-Doc, and CM. That's right.
Yeah.
So thank you, bro. Thanks again for coming through.
Y'all stay strong. Daddy O, I hope to see you this weekend. Much love to you.
Oh, yeah.
Flatline, much love to you and the family.
Much love, sir.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
And
C-Doc, much appreciation. Jennifer, Jenny.
Yeah, bro.
Every time I see that name, that's all I can think of. Jennifer.
Oh, man.
So, Speech, hope to see you in Pittsburgh on Saturday. Hopefully we can connect.
God willing. See y'all soon.
Okay. Take care, bro.
Stay strong. Peace.
So there it is, man.
That was a good show.
I'm exhausted.
That was a great show. Yeah,
incredible.
Yes, fantastic stuff.
Flatline, you're just exhausted from cheesing too much.
I know. I can't help it. Like all the just everything. It's just
man,
great. Thanks for allowing me to just kind of be a fly on the wall and just take it all in. It's great.
Dr. B stories is bananas, yo.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yo, he was in a group with AD. What?
Right?
What?
Right? What the hell?
Yo, he said some crazy stuff, man.
Man.
Crazy.
These
guys. He said these guys. He used the word gypsies, and he said Kaz and Busy was like gypsies.
Gypsies.
Yeah.
Man. Go from group to group. Oh, nuts, man. Nuts. Oh, that's why I love this show.
Yeah, man. That's good. That's good stuff, man. That's very, very inspirational to me, man.
Yeah. Yep. Me too. So thank you once again to our co-host, the professor himself, Daddy O.
Man.
Thanks, Captain.
Professor.
Hip Hop God's own Flatline. Thanks for being in the building tonight.
Yes, sir.
Here I am. Thanks for having me,
sir. Next time you can talk more too if you want.
I mean, I don't know that I can. There's just too much. I didn't want to interrupt amazing stories being told, and I felt like that's what I was going to do. So
one thing to always remember: we all like questions. So if you throw a question at one of us, we're gonna answer the question.
Yeah.
Yep. Indeed. And of course, Jennifer Jenny, the OG of the show.
Yep. Nail game, strong as always.
On point.
Thank you, sir.
Mm-hmm.
That's the homie. we will be back next week. Hopefully, M-Rock will be with us next week.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, M-Rock couldn't make it tonight. So,
Yeah,
there you go.
What the
you know
hell?
what I mean?
What is it? Nami? No, what the hell's going on? Don't do that. Don't do that. Thank you, Jason.
Who do we have on next week? Do we have anybody booked yet?
I'm not telling.
Okay. I mean, is it confirmed?
No. That's why I'm not telling.
That's why you're not telling. Okay. Understood. All right. It's all good.
Whenever you guys need me, I'm here.
Thank you, Professor. Appreciate it. All right. Let's wrap this up. And
wrap it up.
Thanks for everybody in the chat joining us and everybody on the replay. And we will see you next week for another episode of
It's C-Doc again.
Thank you.
There it is.
Thank
there
you,
you
Professor.
go. Wait.
It's C-Doc again.